Test one, two. Okay, there we go. Now we're on. Now we're online. All right, everyone. Not a great day. Not a great day in the least. So looks like we might be getting our government back. The headline of the day is obviously there were 8 Democrats that betrayed their country. They betrayed their constituency. They betrayed their party, and they betrayed the entire country. So, what is going on? Well, these Democrats decided to reopen the government, and they did that by essentially completely caving to the GOP. Essentially, what they did is say, we are going to let you get what you want, which is the government open again without any guarantees to renew subsidies for healthcare, which is what the point of the entire government shutdown was. The Democrats, that was their red line, that was their line in the sand, saying, we are not going to reopen this government unless you guarantee that you are going to renew subsidies for healthcare so that we can keep healthcare costs low for the American people. The Republicans did not want to keep healthcare costs low for the American people, and the Democrats did want to keep them low because, as a controlled opposition party, it's in the Democrats' best interest to maintain some kind of reasonable standards of living for their constituency, whereas the Republicans don't give a shit, and all they care about is making the real people that they represent, the billionaires and the 1%, all they care about is making them happy. Oh yeah, this is going to be an insomnia stream. To be fair to myself, I did not realize how late it was going to be when I started this, but we had to get this out there. We had to get this out there. And I'm so mad because such a funny story was happening with the H3 podcast and Ethan Klein. Apparently, like the models were like the models that Gila used for her Teddy Fresh thing were like, I don't want to work with Zionists, and they've been having like a hissing fit over there in that community. It was so funny. I wanted to cover it so much, but then this shit happened, and we need to get into this. So, the title of this stream is the name of the 8 senators who voted with Republicans to shut down the filibuster. Oh, you took a 2-hour nap? All right, you're recharged and ready to go. Yeah, honestly, I would not be doing this if I didn't take a nap today earlier, but I'm right here with you. So, 8 members of the Senate Democratic Caucus broke ranks Sunday and voted to advance a deal to reopen the federal government. That's fewer than 10 Democrats who broke ranks in March to advance a previous GOP-led stopgap funding bill, a move that sparked a huge backlash against Minority Leader Chuck Schumer. So, we know this is essentially what Chuck Schumer did back in March, which is he voted to end the filibuster, essentially allowing the GOP to get their funding bill through. And he was open to this and he was kind of encouraging it. And then at the last minute, he kind of changed his mind and backed away from it. Now, even though Chuck Schumer and his ilk of Democrats like Klobuchar, Slotkin, even though those senators didn't explicitly vote for this bill, this is still a failure of leadership on their parts. You are not an effective leader if you have people going behind your back and voting with your opposition. Because what does that mean? What does that entail? Or what does that indicate? Well, it indicates that they think you're a weak leader, that they think the best way to maintain their positions of power within the Senate is to vote against your interests. If Chuck Schumer was a strong leader and he actually knew how to campaign and how politics worked, he'd be confident and he'd make other Democrats confident that this is the best strategy in order to break the Republicans and in order to get more votes onto your side. And we know that this strategy is working because we literally had an election a week ago where the Republicans got trounced. The Republicans lost big time because they had this government shutdown hung around their necks. And so if you can't maintain a hold on your own party members after having an election that shows that this strategy is working, like, I don't know, man. You should not be in any kind of leadership whatsoever. This right here really should be a death knell for the current Democratic leadership. Even though the current Democratic leadership did not specifically vote for this, they did not personally vote for it, they still own this move. They still own this move from their party members voting behind their backs and going against them. Like, we need to primary the 8 senators who voted for this funding bill, that voted to reopen the government, abandoning millions of Americans who are literally going to be unable to afford healthcare once these healthcare subsidies run out. Like, these people are signing the death sentences of millions of Americans who are just not going to be able to afford healthcare. Like, they're going to look at their bills and say, should I pay my rent or should I pay my healthcare insurance costs? Should I pay my insurance or my rent? And of course, they're going to go with their rent because that's a more pressing issue than health insurance of what might happen in the future. So this is extremely, this is just fucking horrible, man. But yeah, what was I saying? The Democratic leadership that allowed this to happen needs to be primaried, and these eight Democratic senators also need to be primaried. Like, completely unacceptable. This party it really is a joke right now. Okay, let's continue. So there are a few obvious threads connecting the group who broke the partisan impasse this time. Some of them helped broker the agreement with Republicans over the opposition of Schumer and most other Democrats who wanted a guaranteed extension of expiring federal health insurance subsidies. Most but not all held state-level office, including 4 former governors. Most but not all come from presidential swing states. 2 have announced they are retiring from the Senate after their current terms end, and 2 are senior members of the Senate Appropriations Committee. None are up for re-election in 2026. And this is the important part. I believe Schumer's up for re-election. I don't know if Slotkin is up for re-election. Slotkin election. When did she get elected? She's been serving since 2025? Oh no, that's just the her position. Oh, I guess she is since 2025. So she wasn't up for election. She decided to vote against this, though. Which, I mean, credit to her, man. Credit to her doing the bare fucking minimum and holding line for cutting $800 billion from American healthcare. 2 have announced they're retiring from the Senate, and 2 are senior members of the Senate Appropriations Committee. So these are who they are. Senator Catherine Cortez Masto of Nevada. Cortez Masto has voted 15 times to end the federal government shutdown, even before Democrats had extracted the promise of a vote on the healthcare tax credits. She repeatedly stated she did not want to inflict sweeping pain on some Americans in order to extract a solution to the impending healthcare crisis of expiring tax credits. Like, this is absolutely insane. You see the impending healthcare crisis of expiring tax credits, right? If I do nothing, then millions of Americans are going to lose their healthcare coverage. So what do? You take away the one tool you have as a party, the one ability you have to cause the Republicans some kind of pain, and you're like, I don't need this tool whatsoever. This is ridiculous. When you have a tool to cause the party that's going to rip healthcare coverage away from your constituents, when you have a tool to cause that party pain, you use that tool. You don't take your cane and you break it over your knee and then throw it in the trash as you hobble on into the future. Like, she's handicapping herself. This is a like a learned helplessness attitude that these Democrats have. It's a mentality of nothing ever changes. I can't actually do anything. My hands are tied. It's a mentality of weakness and capitulation that these Democrats have for themselves. Like, they think that they're worthless. Like, go to fucking therapy, but don't have your daddy or mommy issues being taken out on the American people. It's people like this that do not belong in politics whatsoever. Like, this is the definition of a controlled opposition, right? I'm not going to use the one tool that I have in order to stop an impending healthcare crisis. Okay, Good job. So you're just going to do nothing. Then what the fuck is the point of you working in Congress? What's the point of you saying that you represent people if you're like, I'm not going to use the one tool that I have in order to actually try to make a difference? We could literally replace her with a wet paper bag, and it would be more effective than her, because at least a paper bag wouldn't vote in favor of ending the government shutdown. It would just sit there and rot, which is more than I can say for for Catherine Cortez Masto. She described lines like I haven't seen since the pandemic for food banks in Nevada to reporters during the vote Sunday night, and said that opening the government was key to stopping that. What are you talking about? Yes, food lines are bad. That's bad. You can attack Donald Trump for that. He has the money. The presidency has the money in order to open up SNAP again, in order to fund SNAP during an emergency. Attack him for that. Don't be like, oh, we're going to just open up the government so that millions of people can stop getting health insurance. Great idea. Are you gonna? First of all, did you volunteer at food shelters? Did you volunteer at food banks? And like, are you doing anything, or are you just using that in order to justify your capitulation to the Republicans? Because this doesn't make any sense. Yes, it's bad, but this happening is going to stop something worse from happening, which is allowing these healthcare subsidies to relapse, and no one's going to be able to afford health insurance anymore. Senator Dick Durbin of Illinois. Durbin is the Democratic whip. Great. You have your own Democratic whip abandoning you and stabbing your party in the back. Once again, this is indicative of how weak of a leadership Chuck Schumer is. His own whip abandoned him and stabbed him in the back. I can't believe it. He's the Democratic whip and only member of party leadership who voted with Republicans to advance the deal to end the shutdown. His likely successor as whip, Senator Brian Schatz, another absolute scumbag senator from Hawaii, voted against advancing the deal after sticking with Schumer and Durbin in March. All right, so he stabbed the Democrats in the back in March, but now I guess he found a spine. Once again, Brian Schatz is the one who's like, yeah, we can talk about Donald Trump creating a constitutional crisis, but I don't want to think about it because it's not happening right now, and I don't want to speak it into existence. This is a fucking Democrat that we have to fight against fascism right now. This guy, he's like, fucking Brian Schatz, the guy who's like, I don't want to think about Donald Trump doing a constitutional crisis because it hasn't happened yet. Like, he is the object permanence of a baby. Oh, this hasn't happened yet? This isn't right in front of my eyes? Well, let's not think about it anymore. Yeah, but in reality, these people are paid opposition, or controlled opposition to the Republicans, and so they don't want to fight. They don't want to fight against them too hard. They want to fight against them just enough that they can maintain their jobs and give themselves some plausible deniability that when they're up for re-election again in 2028, they can sit there and be like, well, I tried. I really tried. While, getting their corporate donations and all of their super PACs still funding them and not getting reamed by the Republicans or investigated by them or anything like that. And they're fine to just sit there and vote against the interests of the American people in key votes while pretending like they're still on their side. That's the reality of the matter. They're enacting emergency measures to increase local funding for food banks. It's absolutely horrible. Like, the fact that in America people are starving, that people can't afford to eat more than like a peanut butter sandwich every day for a month because they literally just can't afford more food than that is, I mean, it's untenable. It's a ridiculous situation. I saw a funny meme where it's like my mother in Africa, and it's a woman, and she's like, make sure you eat all of your food. Children in America are starving. It's fucking true. It's true. And it's funny because it reveals the ridiculousness of America simultaneously calling itself the best country in the world and also unable to feed the children um of its country. Like can't even feed its own fucking children. It's really embarrassing. Okay, John Fetterman. This is going to be good. Fetterman is the only Democrat who's voted each and every time to end the shutdown. He's knocked his party for sparking the shutdown and blamed them for the government workers missing paychecks and low income families losing federal food aid. Yeah, well, John Fetterman just his brain damage, so we can't expect much more than that. Senator Maggie Hassan of New Hampshire. Hassan, who is one of the Democrats who negotiated the vote on the Affordable Care Act tax credits deal. A former New Hampshire governor, she's up for re-election in 2028. I've heard from Granite Staters who can't afford a doubling of their health insurance costs. I've also heard from families about the deep pain the government shutdown has caused, Hassan told the reporters Sunday, highlighting the dueling pressures Democrats were under to cut a deal. Republicans were also under pressure, and they're under more pressure. Like, this is what I don't understand. These Democrats have no fucking balls. They have no balls whatsoever. They're getting calls from their constituents, and they're like, this is killing my family. Everyone in my family works for the government. We haven't had a paycheck in 40 days. But also I can't afford my health insurance premiums to double or triple next year. Like it's an untenable situation for me to live in. And she's like, you know what? That's correct. I'm going to choose one of these. I'm going to just say that we're going to reopen the government and I'm going to abandon everyone that's like worried about their health insurance because instead of actually fighting and making the Republicans come and negotiate with us, we're just going to accept the Republicans that they're not going to guarantee healthcare subsidies and open the government anyway. Like instead of actually fighting and putting the pressure on the Republicans, it's another do nothing Democrat that is like, I can't think of anything. I can't think of any way to make the Republicans bend to my will. So even though they have started freaking out and Donald Trump is pressuring Republicans to make a deal, like Trump was pressuring Republicans to end the government shutdown, and you had the Democrats bending the knee and breaking to the Republicans. Senator Tim Kaine of Virginia. Kaine represents about 150,000 federal workers affected by the shutdown and backed the deal. Yeah, I wonder how many of those people are also going to be affected by the lapsing health insurance subsidies. And backed the deal that includes a key provision for his state, reinstatement of federal workers impacted by mass reduction in forced firings during the shutdown. That's also something that the Republicans did. Dude, holy shit. These Democrats are fucking moronic. The Republicans are like, yeah, we're going to mass fire all of your workers. We're going to mass fire all of the workers in Democratic states. And the Democrats are like, no, please don't. Okay, if you say you're going to do that, then I'm going to abandon my principles. I'm going to abandon my bottom line, which was maintaining health insurance subsidies, and just like I'm going to give in to you browbeating me. Like it's what they did in fucking World War II. You can't appease these fascist guys. You can't appease them by being like, oh, you're threatening me even more? Okay, well, I'll immediately fold then. We need to get Hassan Piker in there. Yeah, this is our representative of. This is our Hassan representative right now, and it's a gutless worm that immediately bends the knee to Republicans. Senator Tim Kaine. This legislation will protect federal workers from baseless firings. Yeah, these are baseless firings. You can sue the administration for that. Reinstate those who have been wrongfully terminated during the shutdown and ensure federal workers receive back pay, he said in a statement. Good fucking job, dude. Now everyone's going to lose health insurance from this. He admitted Sunday night that he was a latecomer to the group, saying, I just joined it 48 hours ago, not for lack of interest. Dude, like none of... This is the thing, guys. You grow up and you're like, I don't know. Let me know if these phases... if these phases speak to you at all. It's like, oh, these politicians, they must have been so smart and they worked so hard, and they're so intelligent, and they have a deep understanding of politics and how the government works and how to get things done. You see guys like Thomas Jefferson and George Washington in school, and like they were geniuses. Then you get a little older and you're like, oh man, I know how the world works. These politicians, they don't know anything. Then you get a little older, you start learning a bit more about politics, and you're like, no, wait a second, these guys like know something. Then you get a little older, you're like, no, these people actually know nothing. Like you see their reasonings for abandoning their constituents, and it doesn't make any sense. It's like, oh, some people in my state are hurting because they don't have work right now. So I'm going to vote for legislation that's going to triple their healthcare costs for everyone. That's going to be good. That's going to be great, right? Some people don't have jobs now and they're in food lines. So I'm going to triple healthcare costs for everyone. And you just realize that they're absolutely moronic people. They're moronic people that are all, I mean, all of these people are also corrupt. You either have to have brain damage or you're deeply corrupt and you're getting pressured by your donors to open up the government because that's what the Republicans want. Right? You're either moronically stupid or you're corrupt. And I think in a lot of cases it's both. Like Fetterman, he has actual brain damage. He's a moron. But he's also corrupt, and AIPAC was a massive donor for him. Oh yeah, they're good at reading speeches, and not all of them. Not all of them are good at reading speeches. All right, on to the next one. John Fetterman is actually stupid. Like the guy is just brain dead. He knocked his party for sparking the shutdown and blamed them for government workers he's blaming the shutdown on the Democrats when all of the polls and all of the politicians agree it's a Republican-led shutdown. Like, even Donald Trump agrees it's a Republican-led shutdown. And Fetterman's just so stupid that he's like, it's the Democrats that did it. Like, Fetterman is actually just brain broken. Like, not literally brain broken. Senator Angus King of Maine. King, an independent who caucuses with Democrats, was a key negotiator on the deal struck to guarantee a vote on Affordable Care Act tax credits when the government is open. He hosted multiple meetings in his Capitol hideaway in recent weeks as the compromise came together. A former governor of Maine, King pointed to the pain the shutdown is causing with federal aid programs halted. We are closer to the possibility of work on the ACA tax credits for the people of this country than we were yesterday, than we were a week ago, 2 weeks ago, or a month ago. Like, this is what I don't understand. Maybe we can find an interview with Angus King, but this makes literally no sense. You have a wedge against a door, right? It's like the fucking Shining. Jack Nicholson is the Republicans breaking down the door, trying to get the government up and running again without the Affordable Care Act credits. And you're like, I have a chair wedged against the door. He's saying, don't worry, sweetie, I won't kill you. I won't chop you into little bits. Just remove the wedge, and then we can talk about me not killing you. But I just really want to get into the room with you right now. But don't worry, I won't disembody you. I won't take your arms and legs off with my axe. Just remove the one thing that's keeping me out, and then we can have a conversation. But I refuse to have a conversation when you have the door wedged with a chair up against it. And Angus King is like, the Republicans say they refuse to have a conversation about the Affordable Care Act with this wedge that I have in there, which is the one tool that I can use against them, which is the filibuster, and the filibuster keeping the government shut down, which is causing pain to the Republicans. They just got trounced in the last election a week ago. I have one tool that's hurting the Republican Party. What can I do? Well, they say they'll have a conversation with me if I remove that tool. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take the chair out from underneath the door that's wedging it shut, and I'm gonna let the axe murderer into the room with me, and then we can have a conversation. Rather than keep the door shut and have a conversation and come to an agreement together when I still have the one tool that I have in my tool belt working for me. I'm gonna get rid of it and let the axe murderer into the room. What is the point of this? Why do you think, why is we promised to vote on the ACA tax credits. We promised to vote on that. They already voted. They already voted on it, bro. The Senate already passed the fucking they already passed the funding bill that cut $800 billion in healthcare for the American people. What are we all? Yeah, what is this? Charlie Brown with the football is like, don't worry. You say that you're gonna hold the football for me now, so I'm gonna run up and kick it. Although even then, he doesn't actually lose anything other than falling on his face. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? You're giving up your one fucking tool to fight against the Republicans, and you're like, oh, but they said that they're going to vote on the ACA tax credits and they're going to negotiate in good faith, so I'm just going to let them in. Like, is this the Three Little Fucking Pigs where you let the wolf in, though? Like, the pig in the brick house at the end is like, don't worry, I'm just going to let the wolf in and then we'll sit down and discuss it, as the blood from the two previous pigs is dripping down his face. What are we on about? How stupid are these people? But once again, like, when it seems nonsensical, I guess you can agree with Fab. Like, if it seems nonsensical, these people aren't necessarily stupid. There are a lot of stupid Democrats in the Senate, or there are a lot of stupid politicians in Congress. But if it seems nonsensical, the most likely reason why is because they're just lying and they're corrupt and they're just lying to you. Rosen, Senator Jackie Rosen of Nevada, another senator from Nevada. Rosen joined her fellow Nevadan Cortez Masto to vote to advance the deal, representing a state where 95,000 Nevadans utilize the ACA tax credits. Like King, she was just elected in 2024, or she was just reelected in 2024. Trump and his Republican cronies on Capitol Hill do not give a damn about hurting working people, and their conduct over the last month has been nothing short of appalling, Rosen said in a statement. She called the ACA tax credit vote the concession we've been able to extract. Dude, you're like, oh, the Republicans have specifically chosen to not negotiate with the Democrats at all, and they've already voted to cut the tax credits down and not renew them. But the one concession that we've been able to extract is that we will get a vote on it. Okay, good job, bro. Senator Jeanne Shaheen of New Hampshire. Shaheen was an original sponsor of the legislation that created the enhanced Obamacare tax credits that have been central to the shutdown dispute and played a key role in negotiating the vote to extend them. Like Durbin, she is retiring from the Senate next year and has spent much of her Senate career on the Appropriations Committee. She is also part of shaping the new stopgap spending bill that, in tandem with the ACA vote promise, could open the government. This was the only deal on the table. It was our best chance to reopen the government and immediately begin negotiations to extend the ACA tax credits. Once again, absolutely ridiculous. You have a weapon that allows you to negotiate with Republicans now. You're giving that up. You have no power if you don't have a filibuster. You're giving up the filibuster. Why would Republicans ever negotiate with you? It's mind-bogglingly stupid. Okay, let's play this. Whoops. And the fact that they're doing this on the weekend too, like sneaking in the vote on a Sunday, they know how scummy it is. The Republicans know, the Democrats know. There's a reason why no one that voted for this on the Democratic side is running for re-election in like a year and a half from now, because they know this is going to be extremely unpopular and it's abandoning their constituents.
Sunday session on Capitol Hill, here's a live look of lawmakers in the Senate chambers hoping to end this government shutdown that's now stretching into day 40. Lawmakers hoping to find an end to the impasse that's disrupted flights nationwide, threatening food assistance for millions of Americans, and left federal workers without pay. Let's get right to the latest on what's happening on the Senate floor. ABC News senior White House correspondent Selena Wang is here to break it all down. Selena, could we see a vote today?
Well, Ike, there's still so much up in the air right now. I just got off the phone with a Democratic senator, and they are getting an indication that there could be a vote later tonight. They are unsure exactly what they would be voting on, but we are hearing that Republicans are trying to push through a bill to open the government. This would be a temporary spending bill. But as far as we're hearing, it does not include any of the Democrats' health care demands. So it's unclear if it's going to get enough of that Democratic support. As we've been talking about, this gridlock has lasted for these 40 days as Democrats have remained firm on their demand for these healthcare tax credits to be extended so premiums don't skyrocket for millions of Americans. Republicans have been demanding that Democrats reopen the government first and then they'll talk. So unclear if this stalemate is going to move, but senators are in fact working through the weekend. So we'll just have to wait and see tonight if there's any change.
Now, Selena, what can you tell us about the Trump administration warning states to stop providing SNAP benefits?
Yeah, so there's been so much legal back and forth over this. So to step back a little bit, a court had ordered the Trump administration to pay full SNAP benefits. The Trump administration appealed. Then the Supreme Court said the administration could pause those payments, at least for now. Now, at least 9 states have.
Bro, how fucked up is this country? The president is appealing a court that's demanding him to pay people, to pay states food. A court's demanding the president to feed the people of America. And the president is like, no, we're going to appeal that decision. What the fuck, man? You can't feed people. You can't feed people. Maybe, like, it's just, it's like a parody, man. It's a parody of what we thought would happen in this country, where it's like, oh yeah, people are lining up for blocks for their local food banks because they can't afford anything, and the president is like, I don't want to pay to feed them. Like, this is a comic book villain. You would, if you read a comic book and you saw a villain like this, you'd be like, this is unbelievable. It's too evil. It's unrealistic. And then you see that it's happening in real life, and you're like, oh my god, what happened? What happened? This is so gross.
Had actually already recently started processing those full benefits. And the Trump administration then said, look, what the Supreme Court decided, you need to now stop processing those benefits and you need to undo that, or there could be financial penalties. So for 42 million Americans who rely on these food stamp benefits, this is again throwing more chaos and confusion into all of this. I just spoke to a mother of 2.
He's like, oh, states that are following with a court decision ordering me to pay for food to feed people, you have to actually stop following that court decision, and we're going to sue you for feeding people.
In Connecticut, she had just received her SNAP benefits, but now she's worried again about losing that. And she told me before this new payment came in, she only had 23 cents left in her account for food. 23 cents. 23
cents. Wow. So how is President Trump reacting to all of this?
Yeah, I mean, President Trump's,
She should have gotten an invite to my party. It was a great party that I had at Mar-a-Lago. Lots of beautiful women there. A little too old for my taste, but yeah, you can't get them as young as you used to. Don't make them like they used to anymore. It should have been at Mar-a-Lago, 23 cents. That's not even enough to do. It's not even enough to tip the shoe shiner as you get in. Like, dude, he had a fucking great Gatsby party at Mar-a-Lago, man.
Down in Mar-a-Lago way over the weekend, but he's been very busy on Truth Social. The president has been floating a few ideas. He is, number one, he is talking about how he's claiming that a dividend of $2,000 a person will be paid to all Americans except for, quote, high-income people as a result of tariff revenue. So the president throwing this out there. But the president also on Truth Social proposing that these health
Bro, how much are SNAP benefits? I think the average is like $270 a week or something. Not a week. What is it? Characteristics of SNAP. Monthly benefit of $332. Okay. The monthly benefit in 2023, the average monthly benefit was 332. SNAP supports households in poverty. So this is a household too. This is a fucking household monthly benefit of 332 people. $177 per person based on the average SNAP household size of 1.9 people. That's per month. Households with children received a larger average monthly benefit of $574 due to the larger average household size of 3.3 people. So $174. It's literally less money per person if you have children, by the way. And like he wants to send $2,000. What is it? What did they say per
Healthcare
person?
subsidy should go direct there, but
like he's definitely not going to count children for that. It's pittances. But like this is classic Trump, right? Take away basic welfare resources that people are relying on and give them something worse, but slap his name on it so that people are going to be like, well, my life is worse now. But Donald Trump helped me out in a less meaningful way, so I'm going to like vote for him. He did the same thing during the pandemic where he slapped his name on checks and sent them out to people. Bro, Democrats, Donald Trump is suing to not feed children. You can't campaign against that? Like, if you cannot campaign against Donald Trump suing to not feed children like a fucking cartoon, like a Saturday morning cartoon villain, like, he's like the villain in the fucking Lorax. I'm gonna sue to not feed children. If you can't campaign against that, you should quit politics. If you're like, oh, woe is me, I'm getting calls from my constituents saying that they can't afford to eat, and I can't think of anything to do, so I'm just going to abandon the healthcare subsidies that the Republicans want me to abandon. I'm going to give in to their demands. You should just quit politics, man. Absolutely embarrassing. This is embarrassing. The guy's like a cartoonishly corrupt, like businessman villain trying to sue to he's trying to sue to stop people from feeding children. Not even like he wants to feed children. He's not feeding children. He's suing other people to stop feeding children. And you are like, okay, well, let's just reopen the government. Let's abandon this opportunity to expose how evil he is in the most black and white terms possible. And we'll just like kick the can down the line and put ourselves in a much worse position like a month from now in order to vote for these healthcare subsidies again.
The result of tariff revenue. So the president throwing this out there, but the president also on Truth Social proposing that these healthcare subsidies should go directly to the American people to pay for healthcare rather than having those funds.
Dude, it's so fucking sick and twisted. He taxes Americans. He puts a tariff tax on Americans. So he's making us pay more money for basically like inflation. We're eating the cost of inflation through tariffs. He's making us pay more money for that. And then he's like, okay, well, we raise so much money as a government, we're going to give Americans $2,000. That's you taxed Americans anyway. This is not you giving money to people. You increase the amount that they're paying, and then you're floating an idea where you're going to give people $2,000 while you're tripling healthcare costs and suing people to stop them from feeding people. Like, you're shutting down SNAP, you're tripling healthcare costs, you've already caused like massive inflation through your tariff policies, and then you're like, well, I know you're suffering, so I'm going to give you a little bit of taste on the back end from your tariffs.
sent to insurance companies, but the Treasury Secretary said there is no formal plan from the White House, and Democratic lawmakers are deeply skeptical about that proposal.
All right, Selena Wang,
like $2,000 is a joke in the face of healthcare costs going up like that and losing your SNAP benefits. Hey, Grace, happy to have you here. Wish it was under better circumstances. After 40 days of a standoff, the bill advanced by a vote of 60 to 40, just barely meeting the 60 votes needed to keep it moving forward. The vote was gavelled down to applause in the chamber at 10:49. It's so fucking sad, man. It's ridiculous. I'm actually like, I still can't really believe that this is real. Like, don't imagine, just think back to a week ago, like last Tuesday. Republicans got slammed. Tuesday night, Wednesday morning, Donald Trump is coming out. He's like, we have to break the filibuster. The Senate needs to break the filibuster because we're getting destroyed. And Trump even said personally that he's like, we need to reopen the government because we got wrecked. And we got wrecked because the government was closed. So we need to reopen it ASAP. Break the filibuster. Donald Trump recognized that the Republican Party was getting screwed by this government shutdown, and he wanted to get rid of the filibuster, to like vote against the filibuster by like getting rid of the construct of the filibuster in the Senate. Like, not just vote against the filibuster for this instance. Get rid of the filibuster altogether from the Senate so that it couldn't be used as a tool anymore. Something that is way more democratic if you don't have a filibuster. Because then, in the midterms, the Democrats take the majority in the Senate. They just need 51 votes in order to pass legislation through. So that would have been good if they got rid of the filibuster. That would have been a worthwhile stand to take as a Democrat, being like, I'm not in favor of this, but I'm going to vote to get rid of the filibuster because it is an extremely anti-democratic tool that's used in order to maintain this quagmire of nothing ever happening and no progress being made. So that would have been a good concession. And then in the midterms, we can get the majority in the Senate and the majority in the House, and then we can actually pass legislation to fight back against this administration. But no, that didn't happen, because then, like, not even a week later, like 5 days later, you get these Democrats just completely caving to this. And I almost wonder if it was in response to Donald Trump pressuring people, and I don't know if the Republicans actually offered anything. Like, all of a sudden the Republicans are like, oh, well, we'll do a vote to further the subsidies for healthcare. But it really seems very sketchy, where as soon as Donald Trump starts putting pressure on the Republicans to reopen the government, as soon as that happens, 8 Democrats capitulate to the Republicans and are like, don't worry, we're going to maintain the filibuster and we'll open the government. Like, this is why I say that these people are absolutely corrupt, because all of these people are like these centrist do-nothing Democrats, and if you got rid of the filibuster in the Senate, then you wouldn't have an excuse to not do anything anymore. If you have 51 senators, you do shit. You can't throw your hands up and be like, oh, well, they can just declare filibuster and we don't have enough votes to break the filibuster, so we can't do anything. We can't get anything done. Like, this is truly the perfect example of what a controlled opposition is. Democratic Senators Tim Kaine, Dick Durbin, Maggie Hassan, Jean Shaheen, Jackie Rosen were the Democrats who flipped to vote for this bill. The other Democrats were also voting to open the shutdown, but they didn't flip here. They were always traitors. Senator Rand Paul was the only Republican to vote against it. The vote was a big test to gauge whether or not Democrats would vote with Republicans to break the impasse, even though they wouldn't get an extension of Obamacare subsidies that expire at the end of this year. Multiple Senate sources told ABC News' Jonathan Karl earlier on Sunday that the bill would extend funding to January 31st, as well as provide funding for the remainder of the fiscal year to other agencies like the Department of Agriculture to pay for SNAP benefits and the Department of Veterans Affairs. A Democratic senator told Karl that there would be enough Democratic votes to pass this. Yeah. The Democratic leadership was against this. Once again, this is an indictment on Schumer, it's an indictment on Schumer, Klobuchar, Pelosi, even Slotkin. I'll throw her in there because she's Schumer's little butt buddy that does whatever he wants her to. Like, this is an indictment on them as much as it is on the 8 senators that abandoned the Democrats to vote for this. Okay. Passage of the bill does not immediately reopen the government. The House will also have to approve the bill. The House has been out of session since September, and Speaker Mike Johnson would need to call his members back to Washington to consider this bill before it could head to President Donald Trump's desk. The Senate wants to modify the bill in a number of ways. Now that the bill has passed the test vote, the debate can begin. There are some key modifications that senators want to make to the bill. They want to change its expiration date from November 21st to the end of January. They want to attach 3 full-year funding bills to it. The government is usually funded through 12 full-year appropriations bills. The 3 that senators hope to include are military construction and veterans affairs, the legislative branch, and the Department of Agriculture. If lawmakers fail to fund the government by the new deadline, programs covered by these bills would be fully funded. Programs covered by these bills would be fully funded through the end of the fiscal year. There could be the inclusion of some sort of language guaranteeing Democrats a vote by a certain date on a bill to address healthcare. Oh, there could be an inclusion. So they voted for this shit, and they don't even have an inclusion. They just say there could be an inclusion that guarantees the Democrats a vote on healthcare. There could also be some sort of language to reverse some of the administration's reductions in force of government workers that occurred during the shutdown. So the 2 things that the Democrats said that they got out of this, the 2 things that they said are the only concessions that were available to them, aren't even guaranteed in this bill that they voted for. They have to rely on the good faith negotiations of Republicans to add them as modifications to the bill. Man, this is really sad. Okay, what do we got? Tired of talking. Man, this is so bad, bro. This is so bad. Hey, come on. Hit me up, BBC.
Let's head to the US now, because senators there have taken a major step towards ending the longest government shutdown in American history after backing a compromise deal put forward by Republicans. The breakthrough came after a number of Democratic senators agreed to support a stopgap measure to extend government funding until the end of January and to back a larger package to fully fund several key agencies. After clearing the Senate, the legislation will now need to pass the House of Representatives and then be signed by President Trump, a process that could take days. Before the final vote, veteran Senator Bernie Sanders made this impassioned speech.
If this vote succeeds, over 20 million Americans are going to see at least a doubling in their premiums in the Affordable Care Act. In my state of Vermont and throughout this country, for certain groups of people, it will be a tripling and a quadrupling of their premiums. There are people who...
But Bernie Sanders, don't you realize that the 8 Democrats that voted for this got a promise to make modifications to the bill to guarantee that a vote on continuing the subsidies will be held in a reasonable amount of time? Like, don't you understand that this is a thread that you can trust your life on? Like, bro, it's insane. It's like a little piece of string dangling down, and these 8 Democrats are like, "Don't worry, you can climb a mountain on it. It's extremely tough. It's not like we're going to sacrifice millions of Americans to this to rely on this thread that's being held up by a guy who's famous for abandoning people." It's like the fucking frog riding on the scorpion's back. You see the scorpion other way around, the scorpion riding on the frog's back. You see the scorpion, he's murdered 6 frogs in a row. Then fucking Fetterman comes out where with his bug eyes is like, oh, you say that you'll, I mean, I guess Fetterman's a bad example because he doesn't actually give a shit about healthcare subsidies increasing. We'll say King from Maine. King comes out and he's like, oh, you say that you're going to promise to vote on the Affordable Care Act subsidies in a reasonable amount of time? Okay, hop on my back. I'll take you across the river. The scorpion stings him, but the scorpion, like, I don't know, the scorpion doesn't even give shit because he's being paid by the fish, so the fish can carry him around too. To further this analogy to try to fit the government a little bit more. The fish are the billionaires, by the way. Like, what are we doing here, man? Bernie Sanders, don't you realize that you have a promise of an idea of a possible future that might happen? And all you need to do is rely on the Republicans to operate in good faith?
If this vote succeeds, over 20 million Americans are going to see at least a doubling in their premiums in the Affordable Care Act. In my state of Vermont and throughout this country, for certain groups of people, it will be a tripling and a quadrupling of their premiums. There are people who will now be paying 50% of their limited incomes for health care.
Well, let's bring in our North America correspondent, Anthony Zerka, who's in Washington, D.C., covering every single twist and turn, Anthony. So what is the very latest? This is over the line, isn't it?
This is the biggest hurdle that it was facing. This was the logjam that kept the government from reopening. The Senate Democrats had not gone along with the Republican funding measure for 40 days. Now enough of them have joined Republicans to get it through its first parliamentary hurdles. Eventually, the Senate will hand this off, as you mentioned, to the House of Representatives. The Republican majority there is expected to approve it, and then it's on to Donald Trump's desk. So the shutdown isn't over yet, but now, for the first time in 40 days, we can see how this is going to end.
But the major points, the sticking points, haven't been resolved, have they? Has the can just been kicked down the road?
It's been kicked down the road to the end of January.
Yeah, but it's not been kicked down the road. I guess, like, what, they're funding some shit until the end of the January? What's the bill? We do need to see Chucky Boy Schumer. We need to see some of his shit. What did he say? But the measure, which resulted from days of talks between a handful of Democratic and Republican senators, leaves out the healthcare subsidies the Democrats had demanded for weeks. Most Democratic senators rejected it, as did many of the party's lawmakers, which will have to vote to approve it. This healthcare crisis is so severe, so urgent, so devastating for families back home that I cannot in good faith support this resolution that fails to address the healthcare crisis, said Democratic Senator Majority Leader Chucky Boy Schumer. The bill received exactly 60 votes. Jean Shaheen. What does Jean Shaheen sound like? Is it Jean or Jan? Oh, God. That looks like a Jean.
President Trump has said that Republicans will not be extorted into giving
Misspeak. Get fired, bitch.
Going on between
this morning.
Nice to be with you. Let me just correct.
She has been one of the lead. Joining us right now is New Hampshire Democrat Senator Jean Shaheen. She has been one of the lead negotiators.
Nice to be with you. Let me just correct you.
God damn, how awkward is this handoff?
For the Democrats during the shutdown. And Senator, thank you for being with us this morning.
Nice to be with you. Let me just correct you, though. I'm not a lead negotiator because there are no official negotiations going on between Democrats and Republicans, between the White House, between the leadership, between Congress. All of the discussions are member to member based on concerns about how do we provide health care for the millions of Americans who are going to see their...
Bro, how the fuck did the Democrats not negotiate as a party on this? How the fuck did they not negotiate as a party? Like, bro, Chuck Schumer, Chuckles, you are the leader of the Democrats and you can't stop your party members from negotiating behind your back? What is going on, man? What is like, dude? uh, You're a fucking party. Like, what? This is not a party. This is a collection of fuck ups that have no qualms about saying that they're against Donald Trump and all of the bad things that he's done, but then in reality, just greenlighting them and being like, well, I can't stop them, so I'm just going to allow them to happen. Well, you are literally stopping them by keeping the government shut down, man. You can't codify these cuts to healthcare and pretend like nothing's like you did nothing wrong. Holy shit. Holy shit. She's like, "Oh yeah, well, we're just talking like a bunch of high schoolers gossiping with each other. Where's the party discipline?"
And we could be
This is absolutely ridiculous, man. Jean Shaheen. Well, I blah, 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 blah. What did she say? Republicans control the White House, the Senate, and the House, and they made clear over a period of weeks, including just this week, that this was as far as they would go on as part of the shutdown talks. Then leave it shut down! Bro, I'm losing my fucking mind. If this is as far as they'd go, then leave it shut down, because it's not far enough. Holy shit, bro. You talk to fucking Satan, and he's like, well, I'm not gonna give you, like, I'm not gonna give you clothes. I'm not gonna, like, bring your mother back, or, I don't know. I forgot what don't know where I'm going with this shit. You don't talk to Satan and be like, well, this is as far as he's gonna go, so I'm just gonna go with him. Oh my god. Then leave it shut down. Then leave it shut down. It's the Republicans are the ones hurting because of this, man. Donald Trump is suing to not feed children. He's suing to stop the feeding of children, and you're like, this is as far as the Republicans are gonna go? Bro, you're not like, oh, the chimp isn't coming out of the car, so I'm just going to give the keys to the car to the chimp, because that's as far as they're going to negotiate. I'm gonna, like, let the chimp drive a monster truck because he refuses to come out of the monster truck, so I'll just give him the keys to it. That's gonna be fine. Oh my god, I'm freaking out, man. In the 40 days since the shutdown began, when the government's funding authorization expired on the 1st of October, the Senate's Republican leader John Thune held 14 votes on a bill approved on a near party line vote by the Republican-controlled House of Reps, which would have extended funding through most of November. But no more than 3 Dems ever voted in the affirmative, denying it the support it needed to proceed. The minority party demands that any funding legislation also extend tax credits that lower premiums for ACA health plans, which were created under Joe E.B. and expired at the end of the year. Boone maintained that he would be willing to negotiate over those subsidies, but only once the government was reopened. Like, dude, this is a fucking joke. Just let me into the room and let the axe murderer into the room, and then you can negotiate about you escaping. But he doesn't want to negotiate until he's in the room with you. After 40 long days, I'm hopeful we can bring this shutdown to the end, he said shortly before the vote was held on Sunday evening. From the precarious situation we're in with the air travel to the fact that our staff have been working without pay for a full 40 days now, all of us, Republicans and Dems who support this bill, know that the time to act is now. The compromise legislation authorizes government funding through the 30th of January 2026 and undoes the firings of federal workers that the White House carried out after the shutdown began. Illegal firings, by the way. It also guarantees retroactive pay for furloughed federal workers and those who stayed on the job during the shutdown. Also mandatory by law to do this. You're just like, oh, this bill that we passed says that we can't do crimes. And the Democrats are like, oh, that's genius. Where do I sign for this? This is the best thing that I've ever seen. It says that you can't do crimes. Does it also say that Donald Trump can't murder and rape people? Oh, where do I sign? This is amazing. Included in the compromise are 3 appropriations bills that would authorize spending through the 2026 fiscal year for the Departments of Agriculture and Veterans Affairs, among others. So this does it authorizes government funding through the 30th of January 2026. So it's just kicking the can down the road for like 2 months, 2.5 months. Including the compromise are 3 appropriations bills that will authorize spending through the 2026 fiscal year. So then it's also appropriating spending for Departments of Agriculture and Veterans Affairs and some other departments. The compromise does not resolve the issue of the ACA. It will jump by an average of 26% if the tax credits are allowed to expire. As part of the deal, Thune said he will allow a vote on a bill to deal with the credits by the second week of December. But even if it succeeds, Republican House Speaker Mike Johnson said he will not put such a measure on the floor. Okay, great. Then what are we doing here? What are we doing here again? Mike Johnson said that he's not going to let the bill happen in the House. The compromise bill will now need to be approved by the House and signed by Donald Trump, which may take days. After advancing the legislation, the Senate adjourned until Monday morning, leaving the timing of further voting on the matter up in the air. Also, the fact that they did this on Sunday night is such an indicator that they don't want anyone to know about it. That the Republicans are like, the Democrats, I'm sure, are like, okay, we'll vote for this, but we're going to do it now. We're not going to do it tomorrow when the news can actually be reporting on it all day and our offices will be blown up. We're going to do this on Sunday night when everyone's like asleep and getting ready for work the next day. Absolutely scum. Like, absolutely scumbags. But all signs point to a stormy reception. America is far too expensive. We will not support spending legislation advanced by Senate Republicans that fails to extend the ACA. Hakeem Jeffrey said, we'll fight the GOP bill in the House of Representatives. Doesn't even matter. Like, this doesn't matter at all. All of the House has honestly been pretty good under Hakeem Jeffries. Like, they haven't voted for this. They didn't vote for the spending bill in March. They didn't vote for this spending bill. They didn't vote for the spending bill now, but it doesn't matter because they don't have enough people to actually stop it. Only the Democrats had enough people to stop it in the Senate, and they just voted to abandon that power. Chuck Schumer abandoned the power in March, and now John Fetterman, among other people, abandoned that power just today. Greg Kasser said, a deal that doesn't reduce healthcare costs is a betrayal of millions of Americans counting on Democrats to fight for them. Yeah, that's true. Just before the Senate voted, Democratic Congressman Ro Khanna called for Schumer to be replaced, saying he was no longer effective. And this is the key indicator. Like, people want to say Chuck Schumer betrayed the Democratic Party. That's not necessarily true. Chuck Schumer didn't vote for this bill, and he never supported the bill. And sure, he was supporting negotiations with the Republicans, but that's fucking fine, man. Like, you can negotiate with the Republicans if you're trying to open the government. Like, you literally have to negotiate with Republicans. I don't want people to be mad at Chuck Schumer for negotiating with Republicans. What people should be mad at him for is allowing the funding bill to happen in March and being an ineffective leader and allowing his party members to negotiate behind his back. Like, you are being an ineffective leader, man. Get the fuck out of politics. Absolutely embarrassing that he's the leader of the Democrats and it's his party members negotiating behind his back and abandoning the one power that the Democrats have in government right now to reopen the government. In more than 5 weeks that followed, polls showed that the public believed the GOP was more to blame. They swept the off-year elections. The weeks of unfunded government have taken a toll. More than 700,000 federal workers were furloughed. By the start of November, Trump administration moved to pause payments from the federal's largest food aid program. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy last week ordered a nationwide reduction in commercial air travel. All of these things that are bad are hurting Republicans. The fact that Democrats couldn't campaign on this shit just isn't. Any politician that can't campaign on this should not be a politician. Oh my God. Is it BDS or is it ADL unless they're specifically talking about Israel Gaza? What are you talking about? In total, you're looking at about $150 to $300 billion in extra premium costs per year for straight men and women, so that gay men can pay less. What are you talking? Dude, you're fucking crazy. What are you on about? Well, yeah, this is a controlled opposition party for sure. Why is that, you think? Why is it everyone you'd associate with BDS sounds like a veteran ADL employee when speaking about everything? What? Dude, okay. ADL is BDS. That's an interesting theory.
The US Senate has voted to end the longest government shutdown in the country's history, which lasted 40 days. 60 senators, including 8 Democrats who voted with the Republicans, decided to support the advancement of a House-approved funding bill. Let's go live to Washington now. North America correspondent Kaine is there. Hi there, Kaine. Can you take us through this bill?
This was a procedural vote which...
Wait, well, we just went over this. You call me crazy about the ACA equity requirements, but it's true? Dude, it's irrelevant. It's not that the people are paying more to subsidize gay people. It's people are paying more because the Republicans are cutting subsidies for the Affordable Care Act. That's why people are paying more. I want to see Bernie Sanders' speech on this, too. Sanders and Schumer speak out about... Chuck Schumer has a... Oh, I kind of want to see Fox News covering this now.
Chuck Schumer has had a melt...
Oh God, it's Sky News. It's Sky News. The most shrill voice in the most shrill accent you can imagine.
Down on the Senate floor in a desperate last-ditch attempt to convince Democrats to keep the...
Oh, yeah, you're right, Garlic Fries. They literally got nothing except a promise that they're going to have a vote on healthcare assumably in a timely manner. They're like, we want to have an amendment to this bill that puts a guarantee that we're going to have a... They don't even have a guarantee of a vote. They have a promise of a vote. And the vote is meaningless. Dude, it's insane. It's insane. Like, this is the most dire example of the Democrats being a controlled opposition party that I've ever seen.
Government shut.
Premiums will spike by thousands of dollars a month. Millions will lose insurance. Democrats have sounded the alarm. We have demanded for months to meet with the Republican leadership. But Republican leaders refuse to even discuss the issue, let alone negotiate it. We've asked them to meet in the summer and throughout the shutdown. To this day, Republicans still say no. We asked President Trump to step in and meet with us to deliver lower health care for Americans, and instead, Donald Trump has taken the American people hostage. From cutting off food, aid to hungry families and vets and seniors and kids, to manufacturing flight cancellations, to cutting off home heating aid, while he builds a billion-dollar ballroom with gold-plated toilets. Therefore, I must vote no. This healthcare crisis is so severe, so urgent, so devastating for families back home that I cannot in good faith support this CR.
Bro, Chuck Schumer, he's like, this is as excited as he can get. I'm very aroused. I'm very aroused right now. I wasn't aroused enough to stop my party members from voting for this, but I'm aroused now.
Donald Trump has taken the American people hostage. From cutting off food, aid to hungry families and vets and seniors and kids, to manufacturing flight cancellations, to cutting off home heating aid, while he builds a billion-dollar ballroom with gold-plated toilets. Therefore, I must vote no.
He also is suing to stop states from feeding children. You could bring that up too, man. Like, I don't know. That seems kind of important as well.
This healthcare crisis is so severe, so urgent, so devastating for families back home that I cannot in good faith support this CR that fails to address the healthcare crisis. But let me be clear. However this vote turns out, this fight will and must continue. Democrats must fight because of millions of families will lose health care coverage. We must fight because children who are dying of cancer will not get health care coverage. We must fight.
Yeah, also, remember Elon Musk cutting money for cancer research as, like, on day one in the government. That was also kind of a big deal. Yeah, bro, I don't know what the mega reactions, like, you're like... he has the most proletariat homophobia that I've ever seen. He's like, it's the gay men that are increasing the cost of healthcare for everyone. Is like the classic like the mega reactions is doing the classic thing of how they did union busting in the past. They're like, black people are gonna raise the amount of money you have to pay for healthcare because they eat bad and they have worse health conditions than other people. Like, gay people are also working. Like, gay people are working just as much as non-gay people. We should all be, we're all in this boat, bro. We're all in this boat together of fighting. Like, it's a class warfare. It's not, oh, we need to abandon gay people and then all of a sudden our healthcare premiums are going to decrease in cost. It's pretty funny though. You could actually get informed on the ACA rather than sounding like an SJW that doesn't know anything. I'm literally just like, gay people need healthcare too, and you're like, well, you should understand the intricacies of the ACA. Gay people need healthcare as well, man. Like, we can't get rid of, like, the whole point of healthcare isn't to section out the people that need it or not. Like, the whole point of insurance is to not section out the people that need it or not. The point of insurance is that it's a society coming together to take care of sick people and people that need money at certain times for emergencies. And it's a collective that people work together in order to pay for everyone. So, dude, if gay people need more money than straight people, then they should be even more on insurance. They should be the biggest recipients of insurance. Like, that's the point. That's the fucking point. That's what living in a society is. If you think you can do better, then go off and live in the woods. And you're like, well, my demographic means that I actually don't need healthcare. Okay, well then live in the woods. Don't participate in society. Why are you on the internet? But if you want people to take care of you in your time of need, why, like, this argument could be made for sick people too. Oh, sick people cost more health insurance. Sick people cost more, they cost insurance companies more than healthy people. So if you're sick, you should be abandoned from your health insurance company. Right? Like, chronic diseases. Why have chronic diseases? Why have elderly people on insurance? Why not just have, like, 20-something-year-old healthy males, because they need the least amount of healthcare possible? It's a ridiculous argument that you're making. Oh my god! I got zapped by the Mega Man's homophobia as I was standing in the middle of the lake.
Because a senior citizen cannot afford to pay $25,000 a year just for health insurance, we must fight to keep millions from financial ruin. And make no mistake about it, the American people know who is inflicting this healthcare trauma on them. Donald Trump and the Republicans. Americans will remember a Republican intransigence every time they make a sky-high payment on health insurance. So we are going to fight legislatively, fight back home, fight in the courts, and bring this fight in the elections. Healthcare costs made a major impact on the 2025 election, and they will certainly have an even greater impact on the 2026 election. So in conclusion, the contrast between the two parties is crystal clear. Republicans are the party hell-bent on taking people's health care away, all to bow to the billionaire elite and special interests. Democrats are united as the party of lower health care costs and improving our health care system. We will not give up this fight. We will deliver for the American people. I yield the floor.
Schumer's desperation comes after...
Schumer's desperation? What? Dude, I don't like Chuck Schumer, but what did he say here that was wrong? Schumer's desperation comes from the sadness and the scaredness that he is when he sees that Donald Trump is a manly man.
We will deliver for the American people. I yield the floor.
Schumer's desperation comes after Fox News revealed that a vote will take place tonight, D.C. time.
Hey, good evening. Well, we're looking at this test vote sometime after 8 o'clock Eastern time here in the Senate. The Senate is out on a recess right now, but they will come back after 8. And we were kind of thinking that this test vote would come between 8 and 10 o'clock Eastern time. Now, it is a...
Bro, I need more mods. Where are my mods? I mean, mega reactions. You can be free... Feel free to argue in the chat, but just don't be bigoted or attack people based off of their intrinsic qualities. Healthcare is a appeal to emotion. What, dude? Your argument is that like gay men require more healthcare than other people, so they should not be like this health insurance. Oh God, I fucking died. Health insurance already charges people more based off of what they think it will cost.
Test vote, as we say, but it's more than just that.
Everyone should
that
have to.
Will tell us if they are successful.
That's the point of insurance,
if the government shutdown is going to end and the government is going to reopen. This is going to be about the math. It's whether or not all Republicans, and let's see if they can get all Republicans here, combined with a group of Democrats, can get to 60 votes and break a filibuster. If they get to that 60 vote threshold, that test vote, is almost more important than final passage, which could come later in the evening tonight, maybe in the overnight, maybe Monday or Tuesday. Let me break down the math here right now. So there are 53 Republicans in the Senate. It's unclear if Rand Paul, the Republican from Kentucky, would vote with his party. He has opposed his party.
Okay, we already covered this. We don't need to cover anything else. Oh, Chuck Schumer.
Lay down their arms, potentially end this shutdown when the terms that are being offered by Republicans don't seem to have changed.
I can't explain it because, to be frank, to me, it makes absolutely no sense. I'm completely perplexed.
Thank you, bro. It makes literally no sense. Like, I guess it's, these people didn't want the filibuster to end because if the filibuster ends, that means that progressives actually can do something. And so they voted to end the government shutdown with bullshit reasonings in order to not have Donald Trump threaten to end the filibuster. Like, this is, make no mistake, guys, what you're seeing right now is an example of the Senate working together. The Republicans and Democrats in the Senate working together to protect themselves, to not end the filibuster, but to remove the pressure from Donald Trump to end the filibuster. And in order to protect the filibuster, they're willing to sell the American people down the river because they don't care about the American people. And in fact, if you maintain the filibuster, these do-nothing senators that don't actually want to get any progressive policies passed have a great excuse on why they can't do anything. This is a move to protect their own careers.
Changed.
I can't explain it because, to be frank, to me, it makes absolutely no sense. I'm completely perplexed by today's developments, or really the developments of the last few hours.
This online commentator claims the Dems were forced to cave after realizing Trump would not cede to their demands. Dems had the power to reopen the government.
What? This online commentator? Why are we talking about random commentators now? Dude, Sky News. They literally just said this online commentator. They're playing clips from MSNBC.
Forced to cave after
the developments of the last few hours.
This online commentator claims the Dems were forced to cave after realizing Trump would not cede to their demands. Dems had the power to reopen the government the whole time. They thought the GOP would cave and give them $1.5 trillion for criminal aliens and other garbage. They figured out it wasn't happening. And
oh my God. Yeah, you bro, the tweet that they're playing on here. Sorry, let me show you. The tweet that they're playing is just like dehumanizing undocumented people. And this is the tweet that they're like, this is gonna hit fucking hard, man. Let's definitely include this. This is gonna slap this one random guy. Like, maybe he has a few followers, but they introduced him as a online commentator, and he's like, yeah, the Dems want to pay for illegal immigrants and other garbage. For criminal aliens and other garbage, they figured out it wasn't. Oh my God, this is a joke. Sky News is a joke, I guess.
For criminal aliens and other garbage. They figured out it wasn't happening. And as Chuck Schumer desperately tries to hold on, even his leftist media supporters are abandoning him.
We've got plenty more on the other side. We will talk much more about this. Again, you're looking live at the Senate floor as the Democratic filibuster has been broken. We have so far reached 60.
And his own party is also against him.
This is insane to watch. This has 6.01 million subscribers, and this is the shit they're doing. Like Philly D, what's his name? Philip DeFranco. He does better shit than this. Blurry ass clip from MSNBC, a Fox News clip, a blurry ass clip from Chuck Schumer giving a speech, posting a random guy, Kevin M. Nelson, and then it's just like a 5-second clip of someone talking about Chuck Schumer.
As the
tries to hold on, even his leftist media supporters are abandoning him.
We've got plenty more on the other side. We will talk much more about this. Again, you're looking live at the Senate floor as the Democratic filibuster has been broken. We have so far reached 60.
And his own party is...
That doesn't... She said that it's leftist media abandoning him, and it doesn't show leftist media abandoning him at all.
Also against him, with Senator John Fetterman breaking ranks. He wrote on X, "After 40 days as a consistent voice against shutting our government down, I voted yes for the 15th time to reopen. I'm sorry to our military, SNAP recipients, government workers, and Capitol Police who haven't been paid in weeks. It should have never come to this. This was a failure."
Bro, that was an insane video. Okay, all right, let's see Bernie Sanders' speech.
Senator from Vermont.
I understand that the way the process has been developed, it is impossible to delay the votes that are going to take place. And if that were not the case, that is certainly what I would do, because I think it is important that the American people fully understand what is being voted on today. Everybody in America knows that our current healthcare system is broken. It is dysfunctional, it is cruel, it is by far the most expensive healthcare system in the world, and the only healthcare system of any major country that does not guarantee healthcare to all people as a human right, covering every man, woman, and child. We are unique in that respect. And yet tonight, what this Senate is about to do is make a horrific situation even worse. So let's be clear what this vote is about. If this vote succeeds, over 20 million Americans are going to see at least a doubling in their premiums in the Affordable Care Act.
Yeah, and that's just unaffordable for people too. So it's going to be tens of millions of people just losing health insurance. And bro, this guy is like, oh, but it's just gay people that are the cause of this, right? No. Gay people need health insurance too. Everyone needs health insurance. That's the point of having a fucking country. Like, holy shit, dude. Can you actually just shut the fuck up? People need health insurance, and it's the government that is... It's the fucking government that is causing this lapse in health insurance.
State of Vermont and throughout this country, for certain groups of people, it will be a tripling and a quadrupling of their premiums. There are people who will now be paying 50% of their limited incomes for health care. Does anybody in the world think that makes sense? And if this resolution is passed tonight, we are on a pathway to throw 15 million Americans off of Medicaid and the Affordable Care Act. 15 million. Our job is to create universal health care, guarantee health care to every man, woman, and child, not throw 15 million people off the health care they have, low-income and working-class people. And my friends, know what you are voting on. Studies are out there that when you throw 15 million people off of health care, some 50,000 of our fellow Americans will die unnecessarily every single year. Anyone think that's funny? Something to laugh at? Something to just go past? I don't. 50,000 Americans die unnecessarily. Now, I know as part of this resolution that the majority leader is going to say, well, Democrats can put together their own bill, and it'll come to the floor here in the Senate for a vote. As everybody here knows, that is a totally meaningless gesture. You can get 100 votes here in the Senate. Won't mean anything because the House is not going to take it up, and the President of the United States certainly will not sign it. So, Mr. President.
Bro, sorry, man. I'm trying to like put you. Okay. What do you? This guy's crazy, guys. This guy's fucking crazy. He's like Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders does a speech about how 20 million Americans are going to have at least double health insurance premiums, how 15,000 Americans are going to die as a result of lack of health care. And this guy's like, Bernie Sanders is all appeal to emotion. He's literally just saying what's going to happen because of this atrocious bill that the GOP is putting forward, and you're like, he's appealed to emotion. If you're emotionally like motivated by facts, then that's your issue, man. Okay, what the fuck? Yeah, I don't know. Sorry guys, I'm trying to put him into is this guy like a ninth grader, and he's like having some doubts about his sexuality, and then he's like, well, I just looked up Destiny debating, and I know all of these fallacies now, and I'm pointing them out. When Bernie Sanders says that people are going to die, that's an appeal to emotion. So he's a fallacious politician, just spinning lies. What are you on about, bro? And just relax. Calm down in the chat.
President, I hope that anybody here who is thinking of voting for this reconsiders, goes back home and talks to their constituents and asks them what it will mean if their health care premiums are doubled or tripled.
Well, that's not happening. Oh my God, there's a lot of fellas there.
The Democratic leader.
Mr. President, America is in the midst of a Republican-made health care crisis, worse than anything the American people have seen in decades. Republicans have spent the past 10 months dismantling the health care system, skyrocketing costs, and making every day harder for American families. Because of Republicans, Americans are going to suffer immensely as this health care crisis gets worse. Democrats have been fighting.
Yeah, we already saw this part. Chuckled Schumer giving his speech. I mean, it's so bad. It's so bad. Let's see. Keem Jeffries. What do you got for us, Jeffries?
New York, Leader Jeffries, welcome back to Meet the Press.
Good morning. Great to be with you.
It's great to have you here. Let's start on the government shutdown, now the longest in U.S. history. Leader Jeffries, do you believe that your colleagues in the Senate are close to reaching a deal and ending this shutdown?
Well, we need to end the Trump Republican shutdown, the longest shutdown, of course, in American history. And as Democrats, we've repeatedly maintained that we will sit down anytime, any place with anyone in order to reopen the government, to find a bipartisan path forward to enacting a spending agreement that actually meets the needs of the American people, which means trying to drive down the high cost of living, because America under Donald Trump and Republican policies has become far too expensive, while at the same time dealing with the Republican healthcare crisis that threatens to drive up premiums, copays, and deductibles to levels that will be unaffordable for working class Americans because of the Republican refusal to extend the Affordable Care Act tax credits.
Well, Leader Jeffries, Senate Democratic Leader Chuck Schumer did make a new offer, effectively saying, let's extend Obamacare subsidies for 1 year in exchange for reopening the government for 1 year. You have said that you would support that proposal, but just last month you said this. Take a look.
A 1 year extension of the Affordable Care Act tax credits is not acceptable. It's a non-starter. It's a non-starter.
So, Leader Jeffries, what changed?
Well, it doesn't even matter. We're not getting a 1-year extension. Like, this is a moot point. Chuck Schumer didn't get his way. He didn't get a 1-year extension on the subsidies. We didn't get anything for this. The government's just reopening, and we have a promise for a vote. That's what we have.
Well, the proposal that I was making reference to in October was something that was floated out there by a handful of rank-and-file House Republicans, and that was immediately rejected by House Republican leadership because they have no interest in driving down the high cost of living for everyday Americans. The Schumer proposal, of course, was offered in good faith. It's both a 1-year extension of the Affordable Care Act tax credits. Now we're already in the middle of the open enrollment period. Tens of millions of people are on the brink of facing dramatically increased health care costs that in some cases could be $1,000 or $2,000 per month. That is unaffordable for middle-class Americans, working-class Americans, and everyday Americans. And the Schumer proposal also provides a path toward bipartisan negotiations for a multi-year extension, which would provide the
When
type
did
of
he do
certainty.
this? When did he do this interview? Oh, this was this morning before it happened. Okay.
That the American
before the
people
vote
need.
happened.
Well, as you know, Republican leader John Thune has called it a non-starter. Let me ask you, would you support a bill that would include a promise to vote on extending Obamacare subsidies? Is that something you could live with?
Let's understand that these Republicans have tried to repeal the Affordable Care Act more than 70 different times over the last 15 years. They're not acting in good faith as it relates to dealing with a healthcare crisis
What do we have,
that
though?
they're visiting on the American people. This is the same group of folks who just enacted the largest cut to Medicaid in American.
What do we have, though, for Hakeem Jeffries? Hakeem Jeffries on the actual vote itself, though. Hakeem Jeffries addresses SNAP benefits issue. Jeffries opposes Senate move to shut down from the Hill. He vowed to oppose a new Senate deal in the works. In a statement, the Democratic leader dug his heels in as his party's opposition that any legislation to reopen the government must include an extension of the ACA, which is set to expire. House Democrats have consistently maintained the bipartisan legislation. It now appears that Senate Republicans will send the House of Representatives a spending bill that fails to extend the ACA. As many as 10 Democrats in the Senate could support the bill. A legislative package would combine some full-year funding bills. Jeffrey said he would fight the legislation if it returns to the House to vote. America is far too expensive. We will not support spending legislation advanced by Senate Republicans that fails to extend the ACA. Well, yeah. I mean, bro, you're also a leader of the Democratic Party. You need to lambast these Democrats that voted for the bill. And we have nothing on here. Yeah, sorry guys. I'm just gonna all right. I hid that guy from the channel. He's just like ridiculous. It's the same argument over and over again. If you have some people that have health issues, they should still have insurance and they shouldn't be charged 10 times as much money to afford their insurance, because that's not that's not conducive to a good country. A good country is where people are actually take care of each other, and they work together to help even the worst off among them. That's the whole idea of having a cohesive country, a country that has some kind of welfare system. You don't say, oh, well, these poor people, they need government handouts, so why should we support them at all? Yeah, dude, I don't fucking know. This is like, this moderating thing on my end is not working. He got through. He's hacking. He's fucking hacking. Yeah, if you are like, oh, people with more issues should have to pay more money, then that's not an insurance problem. Why would you have insurance then? The whole point of having insurance is that you pay a set amount of money, and then when you have an issue, the money that you paid in to like the collective insurance that is supposed to watch out for everyone in the country, that money that you paid in is there to help you. And the people that don't need that insurance also subsidize your health care or your costs for the damages to your car or to your house, or to your family if you end up dying. Like, that's the point of insurance. It's not everyone pays their own money according to their needs. It's people pay money and then it gets paid out according to their needs. You don't need insurance if it's like everyone for themselves. Oh, I need a spleen replaced? Well, I'm going to spend like $120,000 to get my spleen replaced then. You pay fucking insurance and then that money gets paid for back to you. Wait, he was actually talking about gay sex? Bro, I honestly think that guy might just be closeted. Like, it's always the closeted people that talk that are the most obsessed with gay people. And like, as you said, I don't know who said it in chat, but it's like, I'm surprised he didn't target trans people. Well, gay people are not the biggest target of the Republicans right now. It's migrants and it's trans people. And if you get a Republican or a conservative coded guy talking about how gay stuff is, they have a fixation on gay people, and they might be closeted because that's not where the zeitgeist of the party is right now. They're not focused on the gays. They're focused on the transes and the migrants and black people. They're focused on and the Jews. Not really the gays. They're getting around to them, but it's not on the top of their list right now. So if someone's jumping the line and targeting gay people right off the bat, they might have something a bit more fixated on gay people than just being in the Republican Party. He's saying stuff about how he doesn't want to pay more because gay men... Bro, what the fuck? Okay, that's probably just a 5th grader. To be fair, that's probably just a 5th grader then. If men got pregnant instead of women... Bro, I was talking with my girlfriend about if men could get pregnant, and I'd be like, rape would be a death sentence if men could get pregnant. Abortion would be... you could get abortion at like every single corner drugstore. You could just walk in, get like an abortion done within the hour. There'd be no fucking rape ever. There'd be like massive maternal time off. If men could get pregnant, this world would honestly be... It'd be a lot better. It would be a lot better if men could get pregnant as well. God damn, bro. That's pretty funny, though. Like a classic homophobe in chat. Been a while since we've had a homophobe in chat. Okay. Yeah, this is fucked up. So I just want... Okay, I'm gonna call this pretty soon. I don't want to go like super long today, but I just want to give you a tale of 2 subreddits. So you have this shit. Oh, Hassan's been tweeting. Hassan's been tweeting. You are the leader of the party. Everyone knows you let the rotating villains concede with basically nothing because you're old people and don't care about anything. You couldn't even make the left pro-Israel. Your lives mission. Even the Baileys hate you. Resign now. Okay, the Baileys are the Baileys are this hypothetical couple that Chuck Schumer thinks is the perfect representation of his constituency in New York. He's like, I meet with the Baileys. The wife is a nurse. The husband's a banker. They always... Sorry, I'm doing a Trump. They always say how good I'm doing in Congress and that I need to do a little bit more, but they say I'm doing a good job. The Baileys, they're America's couple. It's like, So what did Chucky Boy say? America is in the midst of a Republican-made healthcare crisis so severe, so urgent, so devastating that I cannot support a continuing resolution. Yeah, like he's the fucking leader of the party. and your people went behind your back to abandon American citizens. Yeah, so these people are not running, as that article pointed out. No one that voted for this is running in the next year and a half, which would be the next elections for Congress, the midterms. All of these people either got elected or they're retiring. You know they're safe in the next primary season. If you're a liberal wondering what happened here, understand that this is a rotating villain structure that has undermined Biden and Obama's agendas. Through the moderates that play the spoiler and weaken Dems, they must be excised. And once again, I also think that this is a massive Senate home field play. This is the Senate working with each other to preserve their ability to filibuster, aka get nothing done. Like, this is the Senate overriding party politics and being like, yo, these 8 Dems, they are going to vote with us because they don't want to get rid of the filibuster either. They want the Senate to be a tool of American government to do nothing that the progressives want. And then when a Republican president gets in that represents the corporate oligarchies, they just let that happen and the Senate doesn't do anything anyway. So it's like Donald Trump comes in, rips apart the country in order to serve his corporate donors. The Senate does nothing. Joe Biden comes in and he's like, we're going to pass the Inflation Reduction Act and actually do massive investments in infrastructure in this country and promote green energy. And Joe Manchin's like, you actually need to get rid of everything that would increase the amount of green energy that we're investing in. Because I represent an oil conglomerate in what was he from? Virginia. And so we have to massively tone down everything. So when it's a Republican president, the Senate is like, whatever you say, sir. When it's a Democratic president, the Senate's like, actually, fuck you. You need to do every single thing that this one senator says, because otherwise he's not going to vote for it. Like, dude, fucking cocked ass party. And then, yeah, if it is ever a progressive or there are progressives in the Senate, you have to have that weapon of the filibuster in order to stop any kind of progressive agenda from being passed. But these people are they're not running next time. John Fetterman, after 40 days as a consistent voice against shutting our government down, I voted yes for the 15th time to reopen. Okay, so anyway, live reaction from China. What was the point of this? The point of this was to do a tale of two subreddits. A tale of two subreddits. Here we go. Hassan tweeting about the government getting reopened. A list of the Democrats that voted to reopen the government. A guy saying, I'm running for mayor in Los Angeles. Talking about an actor boycotting Gaza. Or not boycotting Gaza. Boycotting Israel. Boycotting the Israeli film industry. Hassan on Jubilee. Hassan's in China. A meme about the government, about people like dividing the left. Hassan. What's this? List of countries that declared anti-fascism a terrorist ideology. Anti-fascism, Chuck Schumer, government. Oh, what's this? Chuck Schumer helps pull Democrats back from brink of courage. It's pretty true. Israel. Okay, so that's in the Hassan subreddit. Let's go to the Hotch subreddit. Teddy Fresh models. Keela being bullied because her Teddy Fresh models didn't want to support her. Ethan Klein doing makeup on a fan. Teddy Fresh models. Oh, Cruel World Happy Mind. Teddy Fresh models. A Stupid Love. Teddy Fresh models. Or Cruel World. Teddy Fresh models. Dan Clancy. Teddy Fresh. Dude, it's everything. They do not give a fuck about anything, man. Oh, wait a second. Look at this. Look at this, bro. Look at this shit. How far did we have to scroll to see this, man? At least they're not talking about Hassan anymore. Even though actually all of the Teddy Fresh models are influenced by Hassan, and Hassan's is a real villain for all of this happening, for Gila feeling bad because her models, and we'll get into this a little bit more, but Gila feeling bad. You had to scroll down like 30 posts to see something that actually, to see something they're talking about that is affecting millions of people in this country. And what are they talking about? Hey, snarkies, here are some people who actually impact lives for you to target. Oh, and it's a girl with a microphone that posted this. Girl with a microphone, the one who's been crashing out and like screaming F slurs online and on her live chat all week. She just posts this and is like, hey, like, I love how it's like, none of the people in this community can ever be like, this is a serious thing, let's talk about it. It has to be coded in the vein of, hey, people that are criticizing me, here's a serious thing that you should criticize. But it's also it's not that she's just like, this is serious shit, let's talk about it. It's, hey, other people should cover this and not cover me. Why aren't you covering it? Why don't you just post it and be like, hey, this is important. Let's talk about it as a community. I want this community to be something that we talk about. Bro, you post this shit. You are proving yourself wrong. Like, I'm looking at the subreddit. I haven't curated it. I didn't go through it ahead of time and select all of the posts. There was like 50 posts we looked at. 95% of them were about Gila being sad that a model didn't want to work for her anymore after finding out that she's pro-Israel's genocide of Palestine. And you're like, hey, why don't you stop covering us and cover this? Bro, like, you are just proving that this community is a joke. You didn't even post this in good faith of like, hey, let's actually cover this. You posted it to be like, what do we say? It seems like y'all don't really know where to focus all that ugly energy you have. Might I suggest the 8 Democrats who caved to Republicans in the bid to raise healthcare premiums? Ugly energy. You want people to focus ugly energy at giving people health care? You want people to focus their ugly energy on people, like, to give people health care. Okay. One. It has one comment. Oh my god. Dude, you can't make this shit up. You cannot make this shit up. Oh my god. Look at what the comment is. But that won't get the likes and shares and requires effort. Dude. Who covers H3H3 anymore? Who covers them? Everyone I know who did cover H3H3 is also covering politics, and they're talking about the shutdown. And they're getting clicks and views on the shutdown. The one comment about the actual shutdown and the Democrats capitulating to the Republicans and abandoning healthcare costs on the H3 subreddit has 18 upvotes and one comment. And they're saying that won't get the likes. Like, it is all a reflection. It's all a reflection. These people don't care about the government. They don't care about any actual things. It's all aggrievement drama with them. And so even when they're posting about it, it's, oh, snarkers should focus on this instead of us. And then the comment is, but that won't get views. And it's the one fucking comment when they're like not focusing on it, even though it's important. Like, girl with a microphone made a post. She's like, this is important. Focus on this instead of me. But instead of actually focusing on the government shutdown, she's focusing on the snarkers. Then the one comment is like, but they're not going to talk about it. When in a post that no one talked about. Holy shit. I actually can't believe how much of a success this was. The tale of two subreddits. I love how unhinged this shit is too. Government, millions of people losing their healthcare coverage. 1 comment, 18 upvotes. Sue models for not wanting to work with genocide enthusiasts. 645 upvotes, 66 comments. Look at this. Frankly, sue the models, lol. This is getting... Okay. What happened? Let's just get into this story. That's it. I'm throwing down the gauntlet. Taylor Lawrence. New story. Dude, I see this post. Everything is going to be okay. And I'm like, oh, are they talking about the government shutdown? They're talking about Gila's feelings getting hurt because models don't want to work for her. Oh my god. Bro, they made an everything's going to be okay post. They made an everything's going to be okay post, and it's on the day that millions of Americans lost, like, are going to get their healthcare ripped away from them, and it's about Gila. Okay, what is this? Whoever misleads the upright into an what the fuck? It was brought. Oh, so this is what a model said. It was brought to my attention that the brand owner of the makeup brand I modeled for is in support of Israel. I'm disgusted to say the least. When I was presented this job, I had no knowledge of this and would have said no otherwise. I've always been vocal about my support of Palestine and all oppressed and marginalized people under an oppressive system. I know where my heart and core values lie. If all photos have been deleted off my page as I do not align myself with that brand, one mistake doesn't determine my entire identity or nor heart, but moving forward I will be more diligent about the brands and people I work with. God bless. Bro, by the way, this is an amazing apology. And Ethan and Gila should learn a thing or two about this. Like, instead of when you get caught supporting Yoav Gallant or saying that Palestinian toddlers are taught to hate America and to kill Americans, you're just like, well, that we didn't do that. That's on you for thinking that we did that. And actually, Hassan supports Hassan Nasrallah, so you should attack him and say that he's a bad guy too. Instead of doing that, just be like, I'm sorry, like, that was a mistake. I was uninformed on this shit. I will do better in the future. I've deleted all content that has put these claims forward, and I have corrected the record on that. But they can't do that, man. Ethan and Gila can't do it because they actually believe in the shit that they get criticized for. So, of course, they're not going to back down on it. Weird shit. What the fuck? Who made this? What is this, like, weird religious bullshit? What the fuck, dude? Someone made, like, a weird kind of, like a memorial pamphlets for, like, this is like Ethan and Gila's funeral. What? This is creepy, man. Whoever misleads the upright into an evil way will fall into his own pit. He who is crooked in his ways will suddenly fall. Snarkhole, and they show Cruel World Happy Mind iDubbbz and Taylor Lorenz in a hole because they're like, this biblical proverb says that they're misleading the upright into an evil way, and so they're going to fall into their own pit. This is demented, man. A rare look into the mind of an H3 fan. The blameless will have a goodly inheritance. Whoever walks in integrity will be delivered. Dude, this is really fucking not a boomer meme. Faith, hope, and love. These are not memes, right? This is like actual religious ideology. Like, this is religious idolatry about Ethan and Gila. Like, this is a religious fucking nut whose entire world revolves around Ethan and Gila. May the Lord bless your day with peace and joy. Oh my god. creepy. This has more upvotes than the girl with a microphone video. This is more upvotes than the one talking about the government shutdown. Oh my god. Okay, frankly, sue the models. Let's get into that a little bit. This is getting ridiculous. This is causing reputational harm to a small business. Bro, a model saying why they don't want to work with you is suable now? Like, these people are unhinged, man. Yeah, the teddy bear with the cross is wild work, man. What the fuck? These people need to stand on business and learn that they just blatantly lied about a company they did work for. I think they should start informing people they work with that there is a smear campaign going on against the owners of the company and they should ignore it. Will probably make this stuff less likely. Yeah, please. Oh, Dean Winchester. Oh, it's the guy. What is this? What show is this from? What show is Dean Winchester from? It's like a Monster Hunter show. It's the Monster Hunter. They have the Monster Hunter on their team. Dean Winchester. Somewhere Taylor Lorenz's ears perk up and she hears whispers of misogyny echo in her head. Yeah, kind of funny. This kind of smear campaign is what can drive people to unalive themselves. Oh my god, I'm fucking pussy. Just say kill themselves. People need to be more careful with their words and their impact. Supernatural. Yeah, that's it. They're like, I don't want to work with Zionists. And then they're like, these people are ruining their own reputation and ability to work in the industry. Dude, holy shit. Like, didn't it come out that Paramount was literally blacklisting people because they were speaking out against Israel? Like, these guys are insane. They don't know that they're, like, Ethan and Gila have convinced their audience that they're in some kind of minority fighting against this machine, this just assembly line of anti-Semitism and anti-Israel propaganda, criticizing people just because they are from Israel, and it's the entire world that is against Israel. And then you see in reality, people are losing their jobs because they're speaking out against Israel. They're getting blacklisted because they're speaking out. They're getting their diplomas taken away. They're getting kidnapped. They're getting beaten. I mean, in extreme circumstances, people are getting murdered and put into prison because they're speaking out against Israel. Like, the institutions, the powerful bodies of this world are in favor of Israel, and they're trying to grind out anti-Israel dissent just because it is literally probably the most successful grassroots movement in terms of getting public opinion from one side to the other side in 2 years' time, because it was a literal act of genocide that was going on. Just because it was a powerful grassroots movement where now people are like, I don't want to be associated with Israel because it makes me feel sick to be associated with a genocidal colonizing country. Like, that's not part of me whatsoever, and I want nothing to do with them. They're like, this is part of the fucking Illuminati that's out to get Ethan and Gila. And they should get sued, they should get banned, they should not have anything to do in the industry. My observations on today's situation. God damn, bro, you wrote a lot of shit. You wrote a lot. I wanted to find something really quick. Oh yeah, this was funny. One H3 fan wrote a massive email to the model that deleted her shit. Hi, I'm writing to you regarding the deeply unfortunate unprofessional message you recently posted about your involvement in Gila Klein's makeup campaign. The public display of poor judgment, specifically the claim that you would have given it a hard pass in the sickening makeups comment, was not only disappointing but genuinely embarrassing to observe, and it warrants a direct statement regarding the profound professional ethical failures of that choice. The most concerning aspect of your post is the apparent lack of critical thought. You allowed yourself to be bombarded by snarkers or mad-faith actors who fed you baseless lies and anti-Semitic slop. You chose to blindly follow the crowd like a sheep, proving you are willing to regurgitate harmful rhetoric without doing 5 minutes of independent research. Your message went beyond simple ethical stance. It was defamation rooted in ignorance and hate rooted in his Jewish Israeli woman. You accused a Jewish Israeli woman for whose brand you worked of being unconditionally pro-Israel and supportive of the IDF, and you targeted her solely because of where she was born. The action is not only offensive, but carries deeply anti-Semitic undertones, linking a person's identity and commerce to political actions that may effectively post, which is an attempt to punish them based on their origin. The misinformation you chose to spread is directly contradicted by public record. If you had bothered to research the brand owner Hila Klein or her husband Ethan Klein, you would know Hila is a native-born Israeli who served in the IDF, but has been profoundly critical of the Israeli government and its military actions for years. The family stance is Ethan Klein, who's Jewish, and Hila have publicly and repeatedly voiced support for the Palestinian people and advocated for peace. Their entire platform, the H3 podcast, has a long history of controversial and critical discussions regarding the Israeli government and the IDF, often facing intense backlash from pro-Israel commentators because of their views. The notion that they're pro-Israel in the simplified warmongering sense you fed were as a malicious lie. They are Israel. They're a Jewish Israeli family who used their platform to criticize the very government and military you totally support. You participated in a campaign of hate and based on a proverb. You participated in a campaign of hate based on a provable lie. Your professional platform and accountability, a professional role like yours requires judgment and integrity. Bro, she's a model. Professional role like yours requires judgment, integrity, and basic fact-checking. She's a model. Would you demonstrate such a profound lack of critical thinking and a willingness to spread misinformation? Oh, fuck. I didn't get to the end. And then she just writes, I ain't reading all that. Have a good day. Laughing. Bro. These people are absolutely out of their minds. Also, to see the total amount of output of Ethan and Hila's content and say that they adamantly criticized Israel on a regular basis is nuts. It's nuts. They say that Hamas is to blame for, like, dude, if I lived in Ethan and Hila's world, Hassan is to blame for Palestinians dying by Israel. Hamas is to blame by Palestinians dying by Israel. Israel is just doing the thing that of course they would inevitably do, and ultimately it was caused by Hamas on October 7th, and they had it was perfect before then, and it would be perfect after then if they went to back to the exact same system and Israel like controlled Gaza. That's what Ethan would say. Yeah, it was a pretty fucking iconic response. I'm not going to read all of that. What does this guy have to say? The Teddy Fresh models... Just say her name, bro. At first enraged me. Man. This guy's shameless, isn't he? Sees Ethan Klein, sees that Ethan Klein needs a friend. He's like, I'll be your friend. I'll be your cool friend if you give me money. I mean, I guess it's a symbiotic relationship, but still, kind of embarrassing for Tom Ward. I'll be the friend of Ethan Klein and get enraged on his behalf for giving me money. Dude, seriously. The Teddy Fresh models post at first enraged me. I mean, Republicans post because they know Donald Trump would see it. Tom Ward posts because he knows that Ethan Klein will see it. This is a post for Ethan Klein. It's like when Netanyahu gives a speech to Israelis or to Palestinians, but he does it in English. He's like, I'm talking to the Palestinians here, knowing full well that it's like Americans are going to be reading. I'm talking to Palestinians here, but Americans, listen in. Tom Ward's like, I was so enraged. Is Ethan listening? Is he listening? Hila's a really nice person, and she's so fucking hot, too. He's listening, right? Oh, he went away? Okay, I don't give a fuck about this. Let's go, like, play COD or something. So what does he have to say? Did his performance here earn his keep for another week? Did it earn him a bonus with Ethan? The Teddy Fresh models post at first enraged me, but then it just made me sad. Hila is one of the nicest, most caring people you'll ever meet. No, she's not. She's not, man. She's also an incredible creative talent. 0 for 3 right now. She's such a funny 0 for 4 and amazing entrepreneur. Maybe that one, because you do have to be kind of amazing to have such a lack of talent and charisma and have a successful clothing company. And I know you guys might disagree, but Teddy Fresh is pretty successful for the amount of like talent that Gila has. But let's be honest, most of that is Ethan bringing in purchases because people want to support Ethan through Teddy Fresh. And working with her and Ethan is such a pleasure. That I agree with. Now, could you imagine sending me nonstop hate because you don't like that I'm from New Jersey? What? It would be insane, right? So why is okay for Gila to get this hate? Bro, a model said she didn't want to work with Gila. She didn't say that she hates Gila. Also, Gila is literally a supporter of the Israeli ethno-state. Like, yeah, if you're a supporter of Israel's ethno-state, that's totally cool. And she also she carried water for Israel during their genocide, which isn't even over yet, but they're pretending like it is. This is funny too. That's it. I'm throwing down the gauntlet. Oh, dude, these fans are crazy. They're actually crazy. Most of you don't know who I am, partly because most of my community contributions were on my old account. So I'm probably speaking into a void, but I need to say this to somebody. I've been cobbling away at a video about Hassan for a little while now, and have most, if not all, the media together for it, and some rough cuts underway. I was really determined going into this project to make a video that felt more like a documentary, more like a presentation of facts. I really wanted to be impartial as much as possible because I thought maybe it could turn some people in Hassan's community. Fuck all that. I'm going full goblin mode. Hassan is intentionally and knowingly stoking a vicious hate campaign against pro-Palestine creators, specifically because they're from or have lived in Israel. This will be my own content nuke, and it's gonna be big, maybe even too big for my own britches. Why would you say you're going goblin mode and you're making a big content nuke about Hassan and then be like, it's too big for me? You're undercutting yourself. Have some self-confidence. Believe that you have the abilities that are necessary to get this done. In my mind, this hate campaign against Ethan and Gila is rapidly breaching containment into the real world. It's rapidly breaching containment into the real world, and I'm sick of it. Bro, Hassan literally got listed by like by the guy campaigning for the mayor of New York, Andrew Cuomo, because of what Ethan and Gila did. Because they're like ginning up attacks against him. Oh my god. I mean, Frogan, Casey Tron, and Denims are getting sued. Like, their livelihoods are in the balance because of Ethan and Gila. And they're like, this is a model that Gila already got pictures of. He's saying that she doesn't want to work for her anymore. And this is breaching containment into the real world. God damn, bro. God damn. I wish I was as stupid as these motherfuckers. I wish I lived in this little bubble world where nothing mattered except the people that I watch on TV and their happiness. I wish that I could exist in a community like that and be content in my ignorance. But unfortunately, I am a fucking loser that's addicted to looking at politics, and I'm miserable as a result of that. This hate campaign against Ethan and Gila is rapidly breaching containment into the real world, and I'm sick of it. I understand why they've been as gracious as they've been to many involved, and I admire them for it. Gracious? They've been getting gracious? They've been being gracious. They should continue to stand on business in the way they have been. It shows a resolve and empathy for others. I'm not them. I'm a nobody. Holy shit, dude. Have a little bit of self-respect. Like, I'm a nobody. This video I'm working on is too big for me to do. My channel is itty bitty. I have no reputation to lose, and my financial situation is impervious to stalker attack. I've decided to hit the gas hard on this project, and it will release by December 9th at the latest. It will not be a hit piece or a smear of any kind. I'm just not going to hold back my criticisms or play referee. Dude, it's your video. Just, you don't have to justify it, man. Hassan thinks he can ride this all out and keep the core of his fans, but I'm determined to do what I can to make. Dude, I love it. I admire this. I admire this. It's like, my channel's I'm just a small bean content creator, video editor, but I'm working on something big, and it's gonna be bold, and it's gonna be great, and I'm gonna take down Hassan for it. Like, they live in such a delusional world where they actually think that they can, like, take down Hassan with their video. It's honestly admirable. It's like, it reminds me of when I was a kid and I'd go to the park, and it's like you see a playground, and it's kind of shaped like a pirate ship, and you're like, yes, I know what the fuck I'm gonna do this afternoon. I'm gonna, like, find a cool ass stick. I'm gonna find some other kids on the park, and we're gonna play pirates from 1 p.m. until, like, my mom is like, we have to go. Like, this is gonna be a sick 3 hours. We're gonna just, like, batten down the hatches. We're gonna raid each other's ships. We're gonna go off into the woods and, like, explore the islands and stuff and look for other things. This is gonna be sick. Like, they're living in an imaginary world, but it's fulfilling to them. It really is. They're like, because they get this positive feedback, they're gonna release this video, they're gonna have a sense of accomplishment, and maybe they'll get to kiss the ring of Ethan Klein, and he'll, like, repost their video or something and be like, hey, check this out. Like, it's pretty cool. It is a pretty cool mentality to have, where you're like, I've assembled the right amount, I've assembled the clips, the right number of clips, in the right order of clips, and I've said the right types of words and inserted the right types of humor, and everyone's like, it's the fucking meme where it's like, and then everyone applauded for me. I'm gonna release this on December 9th. Everyone's gonna stand up and clap. And then all of the Hassan supporters unsubscribe from Hassan, and they subscribe to me, and they subscribe to the H3 podcast, and they all clapped for me. It's pretty cool. It really is. Hassan thinks he can ride this all out and keep the core of his fans, but I'm determined to do what I can to make sure the real world knows exactly the kind of shit he's doing and what he's really about. He's a rich, frat boy, tanky, self-righteous creep that uses people to get what he wants: money, clout, sex. Bro, that shit's funny. Money, clout, and sex. He intentionally pushes insane and violent rhetoric that he doesn't even believe in order to fuel attention/viewership and push an agenda. He doesn't care about being honest, truthful, or even correct. He's a pig and a coward, and I'm determined to make that known. Throwing down the Gonti. Okay, whatever. That's pretty funny. And a lot of upvotes for that, too. That's 3 out of 4 of the participants in this photo shoot. Wasn't Gila Klein the 4th one? I do appreciate Ethan just putting the models on blast too, though. They're like, why would you hate on us by saying you don't want to work with us anymore? And then he's just like, everyone go harass these models. I love this post. I literally thought this was going to be about the government abandoning Americans and people's healthcare premiums, like, tripling. But no, everything's going to be okay. Hello, everyone. We all know the news that happened today. I'm like, okay, the government, right? The government. People are losing their health insurance. That's the news that's happening today. While disappointing it is to have the models be performative and slanderous towards Gila, we will be okay. Bro, I'm gonna go fucking Fujitora and rip my eyes out because I can't unsee the evils of this world. The most impacted was Gila's feelings, and we just need to show her support. We can be mad and angry about what those 3 did. It's a model that doesn't want to work with a Zionist, which is based as fuck, by the way. But at the end of the day, we will be okay. Teddy Glow will grow because it is a great product. I don't know if it's a good product or not. It's a bad name. It's a bad name. In Teddy Fresh, the Fresh was doing a lot of the heavy lifting of that product name. Teddy Glow I don't know, man. That sounds like a type of hand warmer line that you sell to people that are like waiting at ski races to hand out refreshments to people. At the end of the day, those models aren't really that influential at all. Exactly. So why are people harassing them? Hila, don't quit. Writing from Middle East, and I support Ethan and Hila. I also support hashtag Free Palestine just like them. Well, they literally don't support that. They support Palestine being taken over by a international technocratic government and the controlled rebuilding of Palestine. They don't support a free Palestine. Like, unequivocally, they do not. Okay, I'm not going to read all of this. Bro, that Tom Ward tweet was fucking hilarious. I kind of want to read it again. Hila is one of the nicest, no. Most caring, no. People, okay, yes. She's also an incredible creative talent, no. She's such a funny entertainer, no. And an amazing entrepreneur. I don't know, guys. What do you think that last one? What do they think Free Palestine means? I think they say that. I think what they think Free Palestine means is every time you get criticized for supporting Israel, you say, but I support Palestine too. I think that's what they think it means. Okay, was there anything else that was funny? Oh, this was fucking funny too. Tom is a treasure. Majority reports response to me calling Hassan a dog abuser. Why are they doing this? Oh, this is good. Guys. I agree with this. Guys, send nice messages to Hila. Wait, how do you do that? How do you send nice messages? On Instagram? She's taking this all very hard. 2 years of work to be met with it. 2 years of work to come up with makeup? How is that possible? How does it take you so long to do makeup? Wait, or unless he's talking about Netanyahu's genocide. Timelines kind of line up, too. 2 years of work of killing Palestinians to be met with models not wanting to support to model for my makeup brand. She wants to quit, and I don't blame her. I would too if I was saying, bro, honestly, Hila should probably quit. He's like, my fans, send nice messages. She copied other brands. I don't know anything about makeup, to be honest. So wait, you're saying I shouldn't buy this for a Christmas present for someone? Like, I should not buy this type of makeup brand. Wait. Now I'm actually kind of interested. Teddy Glow, made in Korea, USA and Italy, built with the best labs around the world. Teddy Glow about photos. So who are these models that abandoned them too? Wait, let's take a look at Reddit first. First look at eyeshadow palette by Hila Klein's new makeup brand, Teddy Glow. This was 2 years of work, by the way. 2 years for 9 colors that look like carpet. Look like carpet in an old age home. Teddy Glow is a soon-to-be-released new makeup brand under Hila Klein's Teddy Fresh. Curious what people's thoughts on the palette and the color choices. The Instagram post described them as pressed pigments made in Italy, and they have creamy consistency. It's a nope from me for multiple reasons. Sticking only to the color story, it's not coherent at all, and the only way I could think of to wear it would be single all-over shimmer, and I have that in my collection a million times over. It hurts my brain trying to do anything more than one shade. Exactly what I was thinking. For a full eye look, you'd need to supplement it with other matte colors for crease transition shades. It is true, like, why is all of it shiny? It's all like shiny stuff. They don't have any like non-glitter stuff to it. Player's Core. I don't watch H3 at all, but is Hila even known for wearing makeup? Why is she putting out a makeup line? The most visible makeup she may have ever worn is heavy black eyeliner. Oh my god, they're referencing Ethan's tattoo of her. Maybe makeup is a hobby for her. She barely wore any on the podcast. With a palette full of shimmers that almost everyone has in those shades, I'd call it a cash grab on that alone, lol. God damn, bro. They're getting ripped in. Just getting ripped apart. I'm sure plenty of your viewers will buy it because gotta support my girl, but I think that's as far as of a reach she'll make. At this point, anyone can start a CH. Is that like Anyone can start a CH at a channel. Get some legit subs, buy a shit ton of them too, so it looks like you've got a pretty decent following, then pump out any kind of content. Okay, well, that's not really relevant. I was thinking white labeled from AliExpress, but same vibe. My questions as well, there's no way they did any target market research because they can't think of anyone who'd want to purchase this, aside from maybe children using their mom's money. Do children watch H3H3? Their moms do. They've lost thousands and thousands of subscribers, so maybe that's all that's left. Jesus, dude. Jesus Christ, they're getting ripped apart. Yeah, that's gotta be a no for me, dog. Randy? That's one of the worst color stories. What are these color stories? Now I'm kind of interested. Color stories makeup. You tell a story? You tell a story with your shit? Dude, this is like some theory that... Forget about Marxist theory. You gotta read makeup theory. In short, it's a summary of what inspired the color/finish choices and an explanation of how the colors go together, as well as how the palette will be marketed. As an example, the modern Renaissance palette takes inspiration from the colors, textures, and finishes of the paintings from that era. Also, it's just a marketing gimmick. Those choices are going to evoke particular imagery for people, like rich colors, sumptuous textures, with matte finishes complemented by warm metallic accents. Then you stick the modern on the front so it doesn't seem fusty or old. Something like a cool neon isn't going to go with that sort of palette. That's a color story. I think the good/bad thing is almost always personal preference. The color story is a combination of colors. There are more categories of color combinations besides complementary, like a palette might be full of cool colors, warm colors, colorful and neutral shades, light or dark shades, or some combination. A monochromatic color story would be variations of the same color. So it's like colors that they think go together, but it's more of a marketing gimmick because you're selling people a collection of colors. So they're saying that Gila Klein, her marketing gimmick is ugly. That's her color story. Color story is a misnomer used by beauty gurus for, as others mentioned, color palette/color scheme shade selection. It's not a marketing gimmick, but how the colors can be used. But can't any colors be used together? The idea to buy a palette is to have like something you can just put on your bag and the color combo will either work. Oh, I guess that makes sense. Like you want colors that go together so you can just have that. And so people are like, they're not going to buy Gila Klein's makeup because I can't just use her makeup. I'm going to have to do it with other types of makeup. I like the idea of color story though. So they're like, this is the Renaissance story, and it's like maybe they can actually come up with a cool story of like, and this was a young girl that met Da Vinci, and she was doing cool shit with him. Rob's private label seems heavily inspired by Isamaya French's industrial palettes. Okay, wait, now I need to look this up because one of you guys said she was copying other content creators. Industrial 2.0. What the fuck? Yeah, give me the palette. Bro, this looks so much better. Okay, why do all of the palettes I look up have like a dozen different colors? This one has, what? This one has 14 different colors and a mirror. And Gila Klein's has 9 colors? I guess it doesn't have a mirror too. But it's only got 9. Why does it have so few? Also, yeah, like it does kind of look like this, except worse. Because there's more different colors in here. Wait, come on. I just need to read some more on here. When are we getting the Giardia palette? It's just different shades of like green and brown. Rob's private label. Looks so 90s Avon. New makeup brand. As a retired MUA with 40 makeup artist. Nothing about it makes sense. My main question looking at it is, who is this for? It's very Claire's. It feels like the first palette my mom would have bought me in the 80s, and that's not a good thing. It's just not a usable color story no matter how hard I think about it. A 9 pan full of shimmers and not one but two similar blues, I'll leave the creator of it aside as a color story. There just isn't one. My God, dude, not one single positive comment in hundreds of comments on here. Yeah, why are there two similar blues? Whatever. The color story, what's this color story? Domestic abuse victim? Is that what they're going for? Not saying that the models don't look good. The models look great. Politics look nice too. But yeah, that makeup's a little rough for sure. Oh, so it's not just the glow though. It's also the lip balm, cuddle lip balm, dreamy liquid blush. So this is the 2 year. It takes you a lot of time. It takes you a lot of time to come up with 8 market products. Her Instagram, what's her Instagram stories? Things are happening. I've been waiting for this for years. I've been waiting for this since you first started teasing makeup years ago. I'm so excited. OMG. Wow. Oh, wait. Gila in the lab. Okay, wait. No, we gotta watch this. God damn.
Am I doing it right? Guys, this is called a torker. Torque, baby, torque.
Why is she whispering? There we go.
Wake up, jump in. It's like a ball pit for gardens.
This is supposed to promote the... Dude, I've never seen a single product being promoted by showing the factory process of its assembly. Wait a second. What are the comments on here? Free Palestine and free Gila from all the defamation because she supports Palestine. This brand's wonder has spoken out against Israel on many occasions. Looks so cool. Don't buy into the lies. I do love how people are now saying free Palestine to like protect Gila. I don't know if she'd appreciate that though. Lip gloss, I don't know. You guys tell me if you think.
All right, we are on the production line. This is Teddy Glow Plush Blush being made today, and they are doing the shade Pop of Berry. Let's go. It gets filled with the formula. Isn't technology so cool? I feel like...
Why would you promote? Why? This is not a commercial, bro. People don't want to see their package getting assembled as a way to promote the product.
All right, we are on the production line. This is Teddy Glow.
Isn't technology cool?
Plush Blush being made today, and they are doing the shade Pop of Berry. Let's go. It gets filled with the formula. Isn't technology so cool? I feel like this makes this blush one.
He looks like a fucking supervillain. It gets filled with the formula.
That you want to be presented on your shelf. It kind of adds a little decoration to your bathroom or wherever you do your makeup.
Dude, holy shit. Make your makeup. I don't know, maybe this is just me, but like that just looks like cheap shit that you see at like a stand in a mall or see something on the side of the street and they're like, "Oh, look at this. It's supposed to look really nice." Like, make your makeup speak for itself. Why do you need this gimmicky shit for the bottle? It looks tacky. Make your makeup nondescript and then people will buy it because it's good, not because that looks so cute when it's sitting in my car in my cup holder and it bobbles around, or in my makeup drawer.
This makes this blush one that you want to be presented on your shelf. It kind of adds a little decoration to your bathroom or wherever you do your makeup. This is really like so surreal. First, on its own, it's really amazing to watch, but then to know that this is our product that we made, I can't even believe it.
I mean, maybe if I saw a bunch of like assembly line workers being paid minimum, let's hope they're being paid minimum wage packaging my product, that'd be surreal too, but
product that we made,
probably for a different reason.
I can't even believe it. Look at all the stickers. Every little detail here was something we worked on. So cool to see it all come together. It's a real product. The carton.
Hila Klein, the most kind, compassionate, and funny entertainer that Tom Ward has ever witnessed. Literally all of these, like I know it's a produced video, but no one seems happy to see Hila there. Like none of the workers are looking at her. Like you'd imagine a real kind and compassionate person who'd walk up to one of the workers in their factory assembling their product and be like, "Hey, just like great job. I'm so excited for this. Thank you for your work here." No, like that would actually be a good promotional part of the video, but it seemed kind of miserable there.
The way I envisioned it, it came out even like 10 times better. I wanted it to have some texture and then be kind of gray so it will highlight the neon. And then when we first saw it in person, I was like, this is even better than I could have dreamed of. And then you have the neon pop inside, and we wanted to have the chrome moment. I just can't believe everything worked out.
Like, Hila didn't even design this. She just worked with another company that does makeup. And she's like, this is what I want it to be. And then they did it for her. People are acting like this is her, like her brainchild that she worked on for 2 years. No. She wrote down a wish list of things that she wanted her makeup to be. And then they made it. And then they sent her like the prototype. She's like, all right, cool. And then they had another factory just start mass producing it. She just said, she's like, I wanted it gray, some neon, and some other colors. And then it came back to me and I'm like, that's awesome. Send some nice messages to Hila. Her models don't want to work for her.
This is gonna be somebody's blush that I'm holding right now. That's so funny. Oh, it's got everything. They just did that right there. I can't
Actually,
believe
a really
it.
ugly container.
I really hope you love it. I've been using this product for like over a year. This has been my daily blush. 2 years of vision and hard work is being boxed up and it's gonna be shipped right to your door. All right, we are on the production line.
As long as you're not the one delivering it, I'm fine. Model shoot. Okay, oh my god. Okay. Oh, you know what? This reminded me of something. So there's this content creator that's been kind of crashing out a little bit. I wanted to cover her last week. What time is it? Shit, fuck. I have to cover it tomorrow. Let's just watch a little bit. TikTok, TikTok. So this person's been getting promoted by the H3 subreddit. But the reason that I thought of her is not only because of the H3 subreddit, but also because she's like posting shit, doing her makeup too. God damn, she talks a lot. Wait, how recent are these videos that she's been making? What do we have here? The election results from across the country reviving my spirit from the ring of death. I think this was the... Okay, I think this is the one that popped off. Yeah, this is 72,000 views.
Zoran Mamdani won because he...
Well, where was the one where she was doing her makeup? Oh, this one. Okay. I just want to see if she's using Teddy Goulot in this. So why have a different name for it?
I've been advocating to vote for a while. I saw her take over the nomination. I saw the way that leftist men specifically were flipping on her and weaponizing bigotry to run against her when the other option running was Donald Trump, when the entire reason she took over the campaign.
No, not Teddy Globe. Okay. What was the video that made her pop off? This is what I want to watch.
Put out policies that people can relate to rings really hollow when I read 82 pages of policy that would have made every single working class American's life infinitely better at the expense of the billionaires losing a little bit of their money. I really need us to start calling this what it is. It was his policies plus the specific verbiage that he used. A lot of leftists.
But anyway, I don't really want to like rip into this person too much because they're just not that big. I mean, they have 120,000 followers on TikTok, which is not small. But honestly, like, some of my TikTok videos do better than her TikTok videos. But it is like, I don't know, guys. Should I be covering this? Let me know in the chat. Like, she's got promoted by the H3 podcast. And Zoran Mamdani won big in an election last week, right? He beat the centrist Democrat, and a lot of leftists were happy about it. This person decided that it would be a good time to launder Kamala Harris's image in the wake of a Zoran Mamdani win, because Zoran Mamdani won, so we should talk about like Kamala Harris, how Kamala Harris should have won too. Yeah, I don't know who she is either, but like this video, I don't know, this video popped off. She's getting promoted and like, it's just another one of these do nothing liberals. All right, I'm going to play a little bit of this though. I'm going to play a bit though, just so we can hear how crazy it is, okay? I'm not going to listen to her other videos because she says some crazy shit, but I do think that this is like a vein of liberalism, right? The vein of liberalism where you attack leftists because Kamala Harris lost the election.
Say that Zoran Mamdani won because he put out policies that people can relate to rings really hollow when I read 82 pages of policy that would have made every single working class American's life infinitely better at the expense of the billionaires losing a little bit of their money. I really need us to start calling this what it is. It was his policies plus the specific verbiage that he used. A lot of leftists didn't want to read in between the lines. They needed to be explicitly said things like rent freeze. And they were not willing to hear a woman being explicit when that woman happened to be black. Or, you know what, let's just say a woman at all, because I'm tired of the slander Hillary Clinton gets when she put forth progressive ass policies. And what we're going to start to see is a smear campaign against Zoran Mamdani. And the leftists are going to suddenly be smart enough to recognize that they should not be contributing to it. I love him. One of the reasons he could be more direct with his language was because he was only trying to appeal to one city, not the entire fucking country. But if you, as someone on the left, cannot be honest about the similarities between the platform that he ran on and the platform that Kamala Harris ran on, I personally cannot trust you. The reality is, there was so much dis and misinformation that was put out and funded by billionaires about Kamala Harris that many people on the left still hold on to ideas that are simply bullshit. Believing things like an endorsement is capitulation or campaigning with Republicans. Believing that the statement that I will be bipartisan is not how government is supposed to work and is actually a betrayal of leftists.
Okay, we could stop it there, but like, so much crazy shit said in just that 90 seconds that we watched. Anyway, I don't know, like, you can watch more of this, but this shit, the only reason why I'm covering this is because it was posted on the H3 subreddit. I watched it and I'm like, oh, this person's insane. Like, they were saying that Zoran, the things that Zoran Mamdani said are the reason that leftists support him, and the things that Kamala Harris said are the reasons that leftists didn't support her, and because of that, leftists are misogynistic and racist against Kamala Harris. Like, yes, you say things to win, you say things and you get votes because of the things you said. That's how being a politician works, especially a challenging politician, a non-incumbent politician. So I mean, yeah, there's so many different. She's saying that the billionaires were funding disinformation campaigns against Kamala Harris to make leftists think that she was capitulating to Republicans and she wanted to be bipartisan because she was running with Republicans. Yeah, she's saying that Kamala Harris is actually a leftist candidate, but men are misogynistic and also somehow they're racist against her, even though she's Indian, just like Zoran Mamdani is Indian. But I also think this person is just like extremely performative, so I'm going to chalk her up into the same category of liberal as Hutch and Destiny and, I don't know, I guess Ethan Klein too, to an extent. Like, even though Ethan Klein is more of a Zionist, but he does the exact same thing, blaming leftists for Kamala Harris's failure to win the election. So anyway, this was a person that I was watching, and she's insane, and I could not just hold it to myself. I had to bring it to all of you so you can suffer with me. Okay, let's end this because this has been kind of like a sad thing, sad little stream. We had some fun. Oh fuck! Actually, I do want to just like cover this one model before we end it. This shit. Teddy Fresh / Teddy Gigolo models should be family. And she's like, okay, here you go. What you are witnessing right now is a fan submitting a job application to work with Ethan and Gila. Right? Enjoy the modeling pictures. Motorcycle jacket. Hey, Garlic Fries, 7-month subscriber. Looking good. Ooh, that looks cool. As a woman, I feel bad because I just assumed she's dumb. Don't assume, look, when you see someone in politics, don't assume they're dumb. Just assume they're corrupt, right? Like, is Nick Fuentes, is he dumb? No, he's just getting paid money by saying evil things. Are these Democrats that voted to defang the senator, like defang the Democratic senators, are they dumb? No, they're just corrupt. They want to be paid to do nothing. They want to be paid to prevent progressive policies from being enacted. Okay, so you have to rewire your mind. These people aren't dumb. Don't be misogynistic. They're just corrupt and evil. Be more conspiratorial. Anyway, let's enjoy this job application here. Dude, I want Ethan and Hila to hire her. I want this to happen. Like, if these people don't have each other, what do they have? Anyway, that's some good shit. That's some good shit. Oh shit, Joe Scarborough trying to broker a meeting between Zoran Mamdani. This is what I wanted to see too. This is what I'm going to end with. Jonathan Greenblatt on Morning Joe. Can I find the full clip of this? Let me look it up. ADL Jonathan Greenblatt Morning Joe. This was 3 days ago. Morning Joe fed up. I don't know. We'll man, I can't find the full clip. Let's just watch it.
I will tell you, I've gotten so many calls from Jewish New Yorkers who are alarmed. Their kid was harassed in college. Their child was bullied in K through 12. Their synagogues vandalized. So here's what ADL is doing right now. If you are a Jewish New Yorker, we have your back, and we will hold Mamdani, Mayor-elect Mamdani, accountable. I will tell you, I've gotten so many calls from Jewish New Yorkers who are
I thought I saw a longer clip of this. Maybe this is longer.
Who are alarmed. Their kid was harassed in college. Their child was bullied in K through 12. Their synagogues vandalized. So here's what ADL is doing right now. If you are a Jewish New Yorker, we have your back, and we will hold Mamdani, Mayor-elect Mamdani, accountable. And I will tell you, I've gotten so many calls from Jewish New Yorkers.
Man, this is it's the ADL's TikTok. Okay. So Jonathan Greenblatt and Mamdani. Oh, two powerhouses. Let's go. Well, Sharkton, we all find this abhorrent, and I'm sure the next mayor will say the same thing when he... Jonathan Greenblatt, you have to ask him. I think he has said the same thing. I don't know. I think you have to. I think you look at the fact that he has gone to one high holiday service after another. He's talking to the Jewish community. Greenblatt, that's not exactly right. He went to anti-Zionist synagogue, which is like going to the black breakout at CPAC and saying you understand African Americans. Holy shit, bro. Remember, Jonathan Greenblatt is like, oh, I lament the lack of inter-Jewish marriages. I lament the fact that Jewish people are marrying non-Jews. That's a horrible thing. And I was like, yeah, Jews that are anti-Zionist are actually traitors to the Jewish people. They're like black CPAC goers. Jesus fucking Christ. Warwick, sorry. Links don't work in this chat. I don't know, if you want to email me, maybe I can pull it up real quick. But honestly, I might just watch it tomorrow. But why don't you send me an email with the link and then we'll watch the full interview tomorrow. I'd appreciate that. I'm just gonna read this little conversation, then we can go, and then we can call it. You're saying he hasn't talked to the Jewish community? Greenblatt, I don't know of a mainstream. Now, look, he has been to synagogues. He has Jewish people working for him, for sure, right? But if you look, but they're not real Jews, of course. Oh, it's on the website? Oh, on the website. Just on top from the oh, did I just completely miss it? Oh yeah, I just completely missed it. Okay, well, we'll watch this tomorrow. Thanks for letting me know. Okay. You're saying he hasn't talked to the Jewish community. I don't know of a mainstream. Now look, he's been to synagogues. You're not real Jews working for him, because real Jews wouldn't work for him. But if you look at the biggest institutions that represent Jewish New Yorkers, I've yet to see him engage with any... Bro, he literally won Jewish votes. Like, he represents Jewish New Yorkers more than the ADL. And remember when Zoran said that he doesn't think Jonathan Greenblatt represents the majority of Jewish New Yorkers, and he threw a pissy fit? Like, he pissed his pants in anger when Zoran said that he doesn't represent Jews. Because Jonathan Greenblatt is the self-appointed Pope of the Jews. He determines who is a real Jew and who is a fake Jew. So he says, but if you look at the biggest institutions that represent Jewish New Yorkers, I've yet to see him engage with any of those. Now, my hope is the mayor-elect will do so in the days and weeks to come, but in the meantime, you're not suggesting that he supports a firebombing in Colorado. Joe, I never said that. No, but let me be clear. No, there's a lot of blurring and blending here, Jonathan, and I love you and you're on all the time. And we're always a fierce offender of yours, but you seem to be like blurring a lot of things together and then looking into that camera and saying, call us, we're going to make sure that he doesn't support. I say to Jewish New Yorkers, call us if you feel unsafe. I say to Jewish New Yorkers, call us if you're harassed. And so, how about you calling his team? Mamdani's, goddamn, we need to watch this interview. This is fire. How about you calling his team, Mamdani's team? Or how about talking to people who may know him and you? Talk to Reverend Al. Maybe you guys can get together and have lunch and talk. Isn't that a more constructive thing to do? Talk right here. That would be great. Reverend Al will do it. Come here, talk right here. But I won't be, look, I'm willing to have conversations, dude, Jonathan Greenblatt, he's willing to have hard conversations about Jewish people marrying non-Jewish people. Oh my God, that's like, makes him shiver in his boots, but he's willing to have those conversations. He's just hard, man. Because my job is to keep the community safe. But let me be clear, I'm not accusing him of those things. By the way, he's the head of the ADL, which in their mission statement says they fight for equal rights for all people. His job is to fight for rights of oppressed people, not to keep the pro-Israel Jewish community safe. What a fucking scumbag. What an absolute fucking scumbag. To keep the pro-Israel groups of Jewish community safe from criticism, from people saying free Palestine to them when they do protests and send money to terrorists that are trying to colonize the West Bank. What an absolute scum of the earth. Pretending like he cares about defamation, pretending like he cares about equal rights for oppressed groups. And in reality, he's doing defensive propaganda for terrorist supporters that want to murder just like old grannies in the West Bank that are trying to harvest their olives from their olive trees, and they're getting shot at. They're getting killed. Their water barrels are getting emptied right in front of them. What? Dude, fucking no respect for this piece of shit. What an absolute piece of shit. Like, his racism is the least of his concerns. He's literally doing defense for a genocide and colonization whilst pretending like he cares about equal rights for everyone. I know I like watching Zionists because they're so it's an important thing to cover right now, and it's so comical. But when you get right down to it, it's like they're fucking pretending like they care about minority groups. He's the head of an organization called the Anti-Defamation League, which in the mission statement says they care about equal rights for everyone, for all people. And he's sitting here and it's like, my job is to defend Zionists from getting sanctioned when they give money to terrorists. My job is to defame Zohar Mamdani and call him a jihadist because he made a song about, like, he made a song in which he supported charity workers that gave money to Palestine, but some of it might have went to Hamas. And so since Zohar made a song about it, he must be an anti-Semitic jihadist that wants to bring in Sharia law to the country. But me, who openly says I'm defending people that support terrorists in the West Bank that were literally sanctioned by Joe Biden as fucking terrorists, and I defend that shit. And I say anyone who criticizes them and says that, like, we shouldn't be sending money to terrorists in Israel, like directly to terrorists, directly to people who is going to use that money to buy guns to kill innocent civilians, not to Hamas that is rightfully fights against their oppressors under international law, not to people who are actually being oppressed by Israel, but to colonizers murdering civilians, stealing their land, stealing their resources. And he has the nerve to be like, I'm fighting for people, like in his mission statement. Like, I joke about this shit, but it's so fucking gross. It really does piss me off. And this guy is such a scumbag. He is such an absolute scumbag. Anyway, court rulings tomorrow, interview tomorrow. Like, yeah, I'd love to see Zohar Mamdani talk to this guy, but at the end of the day, this guy should probably be in prison for lying and defaming people, sending money to terrorist organizations in Israel. Like, just an absolute piece of shit. Some of the worst people. Like, I don't know, man. I don't think there's like a huge moral difference between Netanyahu ordering soldiers to do a genocide and a guy like this who took it upon himself under no pressure whatsoever to defend the people that are doing this genocide. Really, I don't know. I don't think there's that much of a difference when you have all of the information. You have all of the ability to not support it, let alone, like, imagine if you spoke out against it. Oh, that's so scary. But, like, you're running defense for this genocide. You are trying to silence
believing
people,
things like
trying to silence people that are speaking out against the genocide and smearing them as anti-Semitic, smearing them as like jihadists and supporting the random murdering of civilians, while that's quite literally what you are doing. And then you have the nerve to be like, yeah, I'm just like fighting for equal rights for everyone. And actually, if you criticize me, you're in favor of hate crimes. Ugh. Anyway, guys, just getting more and more mad. I gotta go. I ran out of tea. I need to drink more tea so I can relax myself. Okay, I'm gonna buy some tomorrow. I'm gonna drink it and I'm going to be relaxed. I'm going to calm down when I see fucking Zionists defending the worst crimes imaginable in all of human history. I'm going to just drink that tea and relax. Okay? All right, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. This is not good. It's not good. But anyway, it makes me feel a little bit better about the country just having this outlet to talk to everyone. And I hope you guys feel better too. And I hope you guys enjoy these streams so you can chat, ruin your sleep schedule with me. And the title of the stream are the names of the 8 Democrats that voted to sell out Americans. If you live in their state, make sure you know how you feel about them. All right? Everyone, have a great rest of your evening. And I hope that you're all doing well. Peace out. See you later.